Well, good evening and welcome, folks. Great to have you here on night 2 of the Australian Sidecar Championships. Looking forward to some fabulous racing over 20 heats. We have all of our competitors out there. We would like to introduce them to you by their numbers. So, number 1, out of New South Wales, Jack Summerling and Nathan McFadden. Number 2, defending Australian champions, out of South Australia, Mark Plaisted and Ben Pitt. Number 3, from South Australia, Damien Nish and Mitchell Spear. Number 4, from South Australia, Rick Stevens and Nathan O'Brien. Number 5, from New South Wales, Max House and Riley Commons. Number 6, another team of New South Welshmen, Shane Hudson and Adam Constable. We continue with the New South Wales theme. 10 times Australian champion, Darren Treloar and passenger Blake Cox. Number 8, from Western Australia, Western Australian champions Darren Nash and Ash Shield. We move to number 9, Jake Treloar and Zach Wright from New South Wales. Out of Victoria, the team of Byron Gates and Neil O'Loughlin. Number 11, from Queensland, Brodie Cohen and Jesse Headland. Number 12, from Western Australia, the brothers Wells, Josh and Braden. Number 13, from South Australia, Mick Headland and Troy Davies. Number 14, from Victoria, Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays. Number 15, from South Australia, Shane Rudloff and Morris. And number 16, Tyler Moon and Adam Lavelle out of Queensland. And our reserves for this evening, Western Australian team father and son, Jeff and Daniel Bishop. And from South Australia, Stephen Fowler and Adam Mordaunt. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's meeting brought to you and sponsored by Benco, and we're proud to have had Benco on side, Ben Williams in particular, to help with the presentations, and also the very good people from Classic Hire who've made this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to be standing, please. And gentlemen, to remove your hats. I'm going to cross to the infield for a prayer by our Speedway chaplain, Terry Dorrington.
Thank you very much, mate. I would just like to...
No. Is it on? It's working, it's working.
I would like to welcome you all here tonight. We're not coming through. Are we coming? Are we coming?
Just talk, Terry.
Okay. Thank you all for coming here tonight. These events are brought together by a lot of good workers. And ahead of the workers is a certain person that spends a lot of time and effort in pulling it together. And tonight we would like to acknowledge Robin McMurray. Robin, can you please come forward? We want to totally embarrass her here. But can we put our hands together for this lady? She has put so much effort into it, Robin, from all of us here. Thank you for your time and effort. Yes, the chocolates. That's for your husband. Father, we thank you for Speedway. We thank you for Sidecars. We thank you for the girls and guys that made the trek from over east and from our local girls and guys. We thank you for the great night we had last night, the safety. We think of Dean, that he's up and well after that accident last night. We also bring before you each and every racer tonight, crews, officials, spectators, and we just pray that we will have a wonderful night and the end of this Easter night that we'll all go home safely in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Terry. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could remain standing, please, for the singing of the national anthem with David Hill.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and red. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
The 2023 Australian Sidecar Championship broadcast is proudly brought to you by Assured Learning Australia, Grant's Car Stereo Morley, Midland Hiab and Haulage, RCA Civil Group, and Front Row Screens, your local streaming superheroes.
Well, as we mentioned, welcome aboard and welcome to my co-commentator for the evening, Mr. Con Mygrove. Glad to have you back up in the box, Con.
Great to be with you, Grant, and a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this magnificent night of Speedway. The Sultans of Slide are going to do it sideways in the dirt here tonight, and what a magnificent turnout. The weather couldn't be better, Grant.
It is really very impressive weather, and we've got an impressive lineup on the back straight. We've got the Benco truck there. We did mention earlier that Benco, Ben Williams and his company, major sponsors of this event. We thank them for that. And while I'm doing that, and Con, you'll be able to identify some of these people, you'll know them. But I just want to mention, that the Western Australian Government, through their Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries, along with Lottery West, are major supporters of this event. We thank them for that. And we thank them for what they do for sport in our great state, and especially Speedway. On the back of some of the John Day Utes, and the back perhaps of the Benco truck, we've got some former Australian and Western Australian champions that you might actually have a list there, Con, that we can go through and they get a little closer and identify.
Yeah. Well, Russell Mitchell there, the big man who builds, designs and manufactures sidecar outfits. Russell Hearn, Tony Shield. We have Dennis Nash, a 5 times Australian champion. Gary Joyce, multiple state and pairs champion. We have Brian Dyson, a former West Australian, now in South Australia. And the mighty Glenn O'Brien, 5 times Australian sidecar speedway champion. So there they are on the back of the Benco truck. There you can see, of course, good to see those great warriors. A lot of other guys in the crowd there tonight. We'll see Warwick Lang was in there. Good to see Gary Joyce looking very well. Dennis Nash still riding occasionally when he gets a chance to.
Rides here,
Yes,
Con. Yep,
yes.
on the vintage models.
Yep.
And beautifully, the sidecars contesting tonight's Australian title, following them around. In fact, you mentioned Glenn O'Brien. He was the winner of the last Australian Championship conducted here in Western Australia, back at Bibra Lake in 2004, 19 years ago.
Wow. So Glenn's still looking very fit. Before he became a speedway racer, he was a champion gymnast, and also he was a very good motocross rider. In fact, my son Gavin and he started their motorcycle careers together. Glenn went on to sidecars, Gavin went to speed cars, sprint cars, and,
Yep.
and yes, the rest is history. But they have a long history of speedway. The sidecars looking magnificent. I see remember back in the old days, Grant, when the sidecars were terrible looking things. They looked like they couldn't handle. Look at the presentation of these bikes. Second to none. Every bike, there's not a dud there out there. It's just magnificent to see the effort that the young guys and gals put into the sport, isn't it?
We mentioned last night, in fact, the great development that sidecars have seen over the ages. And this event tonight, culminating tonight, is the absolute pinnacle of dirt track sidecar racing in the world. You're not going to see any better anywhere else. This is it. It is phenomenal. But, yep, you make the comment because you and I go back far enough that when sidecars were racing at Claremont, when I first went there in the 60s, none of the fairings were on there. They were pretty primitive. You didn't have any of that fairing at all around the bikes.
No, and tell you what, wonder how Trelaw feels tonight. He's a 10 times Australian champion.
Yep.
He's got to worry about himself and his passenger and also winning, but he's also got a son racing. That's giving him a double whammy, isn't it?
It is. Young Jake avoided a nasty incident. In fact, last night, a lot of folks who were here last night would have seen that incident between Lee Bujosh and Shane Rudloff, which was very untidy up there in turn 3, turn 4. But fortunately, all the boys recovered from that. But young Jake was in that heat. He had to take evasive action, went onto the infield. So, yeah, you're hard to be in the mouth a couple of times, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Grant, whilst you've got this opportunity, well, a little bit of quietness, you can probably tell us, or the people, what happens tonight. The riders go through a series of qualifying.
Yep.
Once they qualify, then they go into a semi-final. Explain how the format will work so that the people who've got their programs can fill in their programs and work out exactly how the show works tonight.
Absolutely, Con. So 4 teams per event, four laps per race, 16 riders contesting this championship. We have the 2 reserves that we've mentioned, but 16 riders have qualified for this championship tonight. They'll each get 5 rides. A win is worth 3 points, second is worth 2 points, third is worth 1 point. If you don't finish or you finish 4th, 0 is your score. So at the end of those 20 heats, we will take the top 3 on points and put them directly into the championship final.
Now, the points are 3, 2 and 1?
3, 2 and 1. 3 for a win, 2 for second, 1 for third, 0 for fourth. If you don't finish, 0.
Now, in addition to the riders' numbers, they are also wearing a hat colour.
They have the colours which they have across the track. So red is gate 1, blue is gate 2, white is gate 3, yellow gate 4. So they have to wear those helmet colours. They need to wear those helmet colours so the officials can determine who's who in the zoo, so to speak. But Con, once we've got those riders through the 20 heats and you've got the 3 top point scorers going directly into the championship final, then the next 4, so 4th place, 5th place, 6th place, 7th place, they run in the semi-final. 4 laps, 4 teams, only the winner progresses.
Wow.
And that team will join the other 3 in the A final, which will be immediately afterwards.
And the winner of the A final is
the Australian champion.
Right, so it doesn't matter how many points he's got to get him there.
Correct.
Right, so he's got to win the final.
He's got to win the final, but he's got to get a few points to get there as well.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
way, Con.
absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, listen, I know you're not allowed to gamble on Speedway and those, but, but have you got a fancy?
I really like the form of Mark Plaisted.
Yep.
He's won the last 2 events here at Pinjar. He won the Jeff Gittes Memorial, going back 2 weeks, and a week previous to that, he'd won the King of Pinjar. He's in really good form. Everything seems to be working for him. A great passenger in Ben Pitt. Might sound curious to say so, but I think the sleeper is Darren Treloar. Darren, 10 times Australian champion, has come to this meeting. It would really love to grab another title. But I would say he's had a pretty quiet build-up, and it's pretty hard when you're so good to fly under the radar. He's done it all very well, but I just sort of asked that question, has he got something up the sleeve?
Well, on our radio show last week with Graham Sindon and myself, I was saying that I would think that he was the sleeping giant, and maybe I'm right, but we'll soon find out. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Pinjar Speedway, we welcome you here tonight. We sincerely hope you enjoy a great night. As I always say when you come to Speedway, make sure you bring someone to hold on to. The riders are now in the pits doing the final preparation. They'll have to put their helmets on, their hat colours on. The pit commentary throughout the night will be done by Graham Sindon. The pit marshal is David Cheshire, a former WA Speedway 500cc motorcycle champion, and I think you'll find that if you were here at the Robbie Wolfenden Classic a few months ago, you'll know that he doesn't muck around. So make sure that you yell, scream and shout, because this event will absolutely fly. We welcome you here, and we sincerely hope that you enjoy a great night. There's plenty of beautiful food stores, there's merchandise, there's wonderful toilets, the whole lot. So you're in for a great night of non-stop action as the Sultans of Slide do it in the dirt, sideways here at Pinjar Park.
So if you want to watch some replays through the night, they'll be on the big screen. Front row screens will be providing those. If for those of you who have joined us from home, wherever home might be, whether it's here in Western Australia, whether it's across on the East Coast, or whether you are an international residing overseas, we welcome you to this broadcast. And for those of you who might be wondering how to find it, you can get it either on the Front Row Screens Facebook page or the Pinjar Park Facebook page. They are the only two places. It is free to air, so don't have to pay. You can just watch at your leisure. Be great to have you on board, and you will see some marvellous vision as we're enjoying at the moment of some of the bikes, some of the teams just ahead of this first heat.
Now, Graham,
as we prepare ourselves.
Grant, tonight our Speedway Australia referee, marshal, pit marshal, or I should say chief steward is, here's a bit of a curly one for, it is Angus Bajaya.
Angus Bajaya.
We welcome you,
last
Angus.
night as well, Angus.
Angus,
yep.
We welcome you here, and we sincerely hope you have a great night. No mistakes, mate, because we don't make mistakes, do we?
Not one. Not one.
Ooh, look at the nervous tension there at the moment.
So it's an interesting comment, Con, because if you're a match referee, let's say football,
yep,
you would be very nervous before a
Absolutely.
game. And I would expect that Angus, ahead of this Australian Championship, most important event that someone could be in charge of, would have a few nerves going through it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No pressure, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're only seconds away. The girls on the numbers. This will tell the riders. So we've
girls.
Give us the starters and riders for first race, Grant.
I think what we're going to do, Con, is we're going to wait till the screen's operating.
Right.
So the big screen, so we can share it with everybody at the same time. But you do see, yes, the gate girls there, red out of 1, blue out of 2, white out of 3, and yellow out of 4. There is the normal 2-minute warning, if you like, that precedes every race. So there's a big screen down in front of us that we can't see, but it's got the timer on it, which indicates to riders how much time they've got to get across here to the start line. So very shortly we should be able to call the riders through. And then, Con, I hope you're in good voice, because
we'll soon find out.
You've been practicing. I reckon we'll be good for this one. So we'll bring them round to the start line. There's that normal, you watch the passenger gets off, has a look at the...
Does a bit of gardening?
Yeah, does a little bit of gardening. So all that track preparation that's been done, that starts to get undone at this very minute.
Yep.
Yep. So Pitty's off the back of the Playstead bike. So we'll get those names up there very shortly on the screen for you. We'll share those with you as well. Graham Headington doing a marvellous job as usual on the start line. So we've got Summerling, Plaisted, Nish and Stevens ready to go. Over to you, Con.
Australian titles underway and straight out of the gate once again. For the first time you'll see the blue helmeted rider out in front. That's Mac Plaisted. Down the back straight, the one rider on the infield. The track is lightning fast as they come into the main straight. 1 lap down and 3 to go. We have out in front the machine number 1, Jack Summerton, and back to McFadden. Back in second place and doing a pretty good job. In fact, an excellent job as young Plaisted sitting on the inside. But there's no doubt about this guy. He is fast with a capital F at the halfway mark. 2 down and 2 to go. In second place, the red helmeted rider doing a very good job, Summerton. Then we find back in third place, going hard, and only 3 riders left on the racetrack. But we've got the blue rider Plaisted really burning up the raceway. And out of turn number 4, Graham gets the white flag, 1 lap to go. Back to the red helmeted rider in second place, Summerton, and then thinking further back, a very hard tussle there. The riders get very close, but there's no doubt about Plaisted. Come on, Pinjar, out of turn number 4, put your hands together. A fine ride that time with Plaisted. Back in second place, the red helmeted rider, Summerton, McFadden. Back to then the pink, or the blue, I should say, is Nish and Spear.
Yeah, unfortunately for Nish and Spear, they exited the track pretty early, but a good win there to Plaisted first up over Jack Summerling. And as you call, Con, Rick Stevens in third. The Pinjar Park time, 64.026, 64.026. So Mark Plaisted begins his defence of his Australian title the way he wanted to, with the first up win, and you'd have to be impressed by the way he drove away from his opposition there.
He's very quick with a capital Q, as the riders have now got that out of their head and their brains, and now the second heat is about to come out, and in the red helmeted rider we'll be seeing them coming on the racetrack. There's a replay of what's just happened. The young rider that went on the infield, that's Nish. He unfortunately had an excursion onto the infield, and it was all over, bar the shouting. So that's a devastating start to his chance of winning a national title here tonight. But he can still make the final. Don't ever hesitate about that. As the red helmeted rider now, Mark House, and Riley Commons comes here up towards the starting gate. We see the yellow Darren Nash and Ash Shield, Shane Hudson and Adam Constable, and Darren Treloar and Blake Cox from New South Wales.
So we did talk about the sleeping giant, Con.
Yep.
He's out here in this one with a passenger he's had for a few years now, and Blake Cox. We'll see them line up. Watch the boy in the white helmet, Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, out of New South Wales. Very quick out of the line. So here's your lineup. It is, in fact, Max House and Riley Commons red out of 1. Darren Treloar, Blake Cox blue out of 2. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable will be white out of 3. And West Aussies, Darren Nash, Ash Shield, yellow out of 4. This yellow gate, not always all that kind, because you've got a lot further to get around that first turn down there. But if there's anybody that can do it, it's the Nash and Shield team as we head towards the start. Con Migro.
Yeah, Darren Nash riding under a bit of a cloud with a bit of an injury. The tape's up and a very good dispatch that time. The red helmeted rider of House very quickly into stride. 4 machines locked together. Young Nash has been dispatched out the back end, so we've got House out in front. Back in second place, Treloar on the blue helmeted rider. Then the yellow helmeted rider coming in there is Shane Hudson. Down the main straight, 1 lap down and 3 to go. And already the red helmeted rider, Mark House, looks very good behind the steering wheel. The handlebars, he throws the bike off the end of the back straight now at the halfway mark. Mark House is about to bring the house down. Treloar has been dispatched back to third place. In second place, the white helmeted rider of Hudson, but Treloar back in third place. But all you've got to do at the qualifier at the moment is the yellow flag goes to our flag wavers' hands. But out in front, House and Commons doing a great job. Back in second place, the white helmeted rider doing a pretty good as young Hudson, and Treloar back in third. Look at this for great speedway racing, but it is overtaken there by House as he comes into the the main straight now. A very good ride, and across the line goes the white helmeted rider. Across the line first, back in second place is Barkhouse, then Trelaw, and number 7 doing a pretty good job there. But what another fine race in the time, Grant.
Oh, the Minjar Park time, 64.584. 64.584.
Cool.
Con, I noticed that Trelaw actually shuffled back to 4th place as we go to the pits with an interview with Graham Sindon.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm here in the pit for the winner of that heat. A great race for you two guys. You showed a lot of speed and determination yesterday. Well done.
Yeah, we were just making good starts yesterday, but yeah, we just come through the pack then. Been riding a different bike the last 2 nights, and yeah, Adzi's doing a top job, bro. The whole team's doing a top job.
Well, you had to do it the hard way. You came from 3rd to 2nd to 1st. That's the way to win races.
Yeah, I just had to say thanks to my mum and my Modzi, my missus, and Kim and Dustin, everyone coming down, Bumsy. Yeah, keep the ball rolling.
Go back and get some breath into you. Well done. Thanks.
Shane Hudson with a brilliant win in that event. Yep, he started out, well, he dropped back to 3rd, then he got himself right through to win that one. Hudson, House, Nash and Trelaw, that was the order of finishing.
Yeah, now another Trelaw, Jake Trelaw in the white helmeted number 9. Brodie Cohen, the Queenslander, on machine number 11.
So there we've got them for us to take a look at. This Heat 3. Red out of 1 will be Byron Gates and Mick O'Loughlin from Victoria. Blue will be Brodie Cohen and Jesse Headland from Queensland. White will be Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright from New South Wales out of 3. And out of 4, yellow, Josh Wells and Braden Wells, Con Migro.
Yes, we thank Midland, Hiab and Machines. Away they go very quickly indeed, and the yellow helmeted rider pulls right across the field. Off goes the passenger, and well, he was a very desperate man. That was a very, very unusual movement from that rider. He just showed no respect for the rest of the field. He just tore straight across them, and the end result is his passenger is now lying on the racetrack. So we thank Midland Hiab for the rider is quite okay. That's Josh Wells. It's Braden Wells, who has taken a pretty heavy tumble.
They did dive across pretty radically, didn't they, Con?
Yes, very desperate. It was a pretty... well, I suppose you've got to be ruthless. And now what does Angus do? Does he put them back into the race? That'll be the big burning question. Will this allow one of the reserves to come in? We'll soon find out.
I think the reserve rule is the rider doesn't come out of the pits. So if they can't start the race, then a reserve is enacted. Yes. But if they've already started, then they'll go back to 3, if you like.
Yep.
So we'll just wait to see if Wells is included.
So
Graham Headington just calling them up to the line. So a complete restart. Byron Gates, Mick O'Loughlin, red out of 1. Brodie Cohen, Jesse Headland, blue out of 2. Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright.
So what's happening, Angus? Are we putting the whole back in? The whole 4 coming back in?
Like
good decision on behalf of the Chief Steward, Angus Pajoa. Josh Wells, the West Australian team, and Braden. They'll be a little bit weary now. The white helmeted rider now of Jake Trelaw and Ellie Wright. The blue of Brodie Cohen and the red Byron Gates. Green flags and the tapes fly out once again. More seduced ride that time, and look at this brilliant sidecar action as they move down the back straight. The blue helmet rider of Brodie Cohen, the Queenslander, takes the lead with a brilliant piece of riding, coming out of turn number 4 and down the main straight. The red helmeted rider back in second place, doing it pretty well, Gatesy, but he looks very, very smart indeed. The blue helmeted rider in front, Brodie Cohen, he looks very good. A desperate ride between the second, third and fourth place getter has 2 laps go down, but Cohen and Gates looking and Headland looking very good, the Queenslanders. The red helmeted rider in Byron Gates. Then we see the white helmeted rider pushes his way through Josh Wells. Wow, what a rider he is. He is a man possessed. Moving out of turn number 4, the white flag comes out, 1 lap to go, and it's the blue helmet rider, the Queenslander, and doing a great job in Cohen. Then back in second place as Wells, and then the red helmeted rider back then Byron Gates. But this is the last time as they come out of turn number 4. Put your hands together, Pinjar. Across the line is the blue helmeted rider Brody Cohen, back and doing a fabulous job, and we'll get the time for that from Grant.
65.792 Con, 65.792 Cohen taking the win from young Jake Trelaw, then back to Byron Gates in third, and Josh Wells trailed out in fourth after that incident at the start, the first attempt. But just to repeat those places, Cohen first, Trelaw second, Gates third, Wells home in fourth.
Right, over to Graham. Cindy and Graham, introduce your next rider.
Brody Cohen, what a race that was. Your highest point scorer last night, and you're carrying on from where you finish off.
Yeah, mate. I actually missed the setup a little bit there. Track's different to yesterday. She was pretty heavy and grippy out there last night, and that's as smooth as a billiard table now. Anyway, yeah, we got the win. It wasn't pretty, but I'll adjust the bike and change the setup back to basics, and hopefully find a couple more seconds in that.
Best wishes for the rest of the night.
Cheers, mate.
Good on you, Graham. A very good job there, and good young Cohen looking very resplendent in his winning smile on his face. There's a bit more gardening will be done in front of us as the machine number 17 goes into place, but it's Shane Rudloff in red coming into place. Grant will give us starters and riders as they come up on the screen.
As you mentioned, Con, about Brody Cohen and the smile, he was the top qualifier last night, so he actually had to win last night to qualify. He won well, top point scorer, came through, and as you see, that form has continued. There's plenty of gardening going on.
And Midland Hiab, the riders now have their names on the board. Call them out, Grant.
Yeah, well, I'd like to. But, Rick Stevens and Nathan O'Brien.
No.
Doesn't appear to be the lineup that I have.
Up goes the flags and away they go very quickly into going another very even dispatch. Wow, the track is in devastating form as the Soldiers of Slide do it down the back straight now. Plenty of action as they slip and slide, dip and dive. Come out of turn number 4, and it's the blue helmeted rider doing a very good job in Monson. Back in second place, the white helmeted rider of Mick Headland. He's doing a great job as they strung out around the track going towards the halfway mark. The yellow helmeted rider now can't make his move up. That's young Headland. Then the white helmeted rider in second place is Monson, so 2 down and 2 to go. Back in third place, but the blue helmeted rider still leading and doing a very good job as Monson and Summer Hayes. Down the back straight, they come out of turn number 4. The yellow flag is out, 1 lap to go here at the Pinjar Speedway. Back to the white helmeted rider of Headland and Davies. Then doing a great job, the yellow helmeted rider doing a pretty good job, but they just can't peg him back. And behind the field is Rudloff, the South Australian, in last position. But across the line now goes the blue helmeted rider of Monson. Back to the white helmeted rider in Mick Headland. Then we find the yellow in the third place skewing at Tyler Moon and Lovell. So, wow, it happens so quick, you blink and you miss it. So that is the first 4 heats in this championship, and Grant will give us the official time.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to see Warren Monson in practice at all with his passenger Andrew Summerhayes out of Victoria, but they've stamped some authority on that one. That's a 64.41, so placings in that one. Monson first, Tyler Moon out of Queensland second, Mick Headland challenged him all the way, finished in third, and then Shane Rudloff. And Scott Morris, we go to the pits with Graham Sinton.
Andrew, what a race for you guys. A good way to start your campaign off.
Yeah, got to be happy of that, you know. Track's a bit different from last night, it's a lot slicker, so we've just got to change our riding style a bit more, but so far so good.
And how do you find this track compared to your East Coast tracks?
It's very similar to Madura, to be honest. Just a little bit longer, nice and wide in the corners, so gives you heaps of opportunity to go around the outside if you have to. So far, we're enjoying it.
And you race a lot of these blokes week in, week out over in the East Coast. Is it any different to meeting them here in the Australian Championship?
To be honest, it's no different. We're a bit more an even playing field, especially with the East Coast guys, because they haven't spent much time over here. You know, this is our third ride out, so we're all in the same playing field, so it's sort of good.
All right, we'll go and take a deep breath and get that bike sorted, and we look forward to more wins during the evening.
Thank you very much. The pits tonight is Graham Sindon. Just had a note from Jason Crow, who is the commentator at the Perth Motorplex. One of the commentators is also the manager of the Southwest Football League, and he's listening to us
evening, Jason.
On the front row screen, and he's thoroughly enjoying it. Former Geraldton boy.
Oh, well, we had him there for a while.
What, you, me, and we're all Geraldton people. Dennis Committee even come from Geraldton. Wow.
Well, we'd be a good forward line.
Righto. We'll be right back after this with more action here, so don't go away and don't leave the room at the moment.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA. Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Righto, Graham, it's...
Grant's Car Stereo Morley, proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years, selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate, from a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley, or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
With Braden Welch. Braden, how did you fare after you came off the back of the bike?
Not too bad, man. You know, it's just usual racing, but just got a bit wounded, but you know, it's all good, mate. Carry on.
That's a bit of a scary moment when you come off in the middle of the field.
Well, you don't know what's behind you, but you know, obviously got a bit of a push there, but there's only so much room in the corner. You need to make the corner, so and that's how it ends up. You know, just racing.
All right, but you didn't sustain any injuries. You're all fit and well to carry on.
Oh, for sure, mate. You know, carry on, go hard, see where we go.
All right, mate. Best wishes, and hope you can get amongst the points.
Thanks, buddy. All good.
Braden Wells, well, uninjured totally. Sitting over there with Graham Sindon in the pits, very comfortable. Just want to acknowledge a few people. We've just been through 4 heats, Con. The first one sponsored by the Freak Show I don't know. That might be you and me. We might have sponsored that. Freak Show Racing. Freak Show Racing. Second heat sponsored by the Coffee Machine, making your espresso dreams a reality. The third heat was sponsored by Benco, so they are very big sponsors for tonight's meeting. Without people like Benco, these sorts of events don't happen. Just like to sincerely thank them. And the fourth heat sponsored by Nashtec. They're the boys who put the Darren Nash Shield bike together. So big thanks to those heat sponsors.
Yes, we thank them. Without sponsors, as you know, and any one of these sponsors that advertise here, please use them whenever you're looking for any services or equipment or whatever it might be. Remember, the sponsors are the lifeblood of the sport, and we need for you to support them. And don't be frightened when you go into their shop or their factory or wherever they go and say, look, hey, I heard you're out at Pinjar Speedway the other night, and we were told that you'd give us a little discount. Mates
absolutely.
Race. Good to see you.
Got to do it.
Righto, well, we'll now go over to Graham, who's working overtime in the in the pit area. So Graham's got another special guest.
Darren Nash, fourth place in that race. You're still recovering from a serious injury from the Jeff Giddis Memorial event. How's all that coming on for you?
Yeah, it's holding me up a little bit, but like waiting for a bit of adrenaline to kick in, but that's okay. We'll get through the night all right. We'll just keep pushing, and hopefully the track will come to us and we can get up the pointy end. I was a bit worried, but I seen you on the start line before the meeting and you look a bit more nervous than I did.
Well, you don't want to talk to me. I reckon I'm bad luck. On a serious note, the track's totally different to the one you rode in the Jeff Giddis. Is it giving you any issues?
Nah, look, I'm much happier with the track tonight. I came last night and did a couple of laps, and it was really heavy, and it was a bit disappointing for some of the guys from the east. But they've sorted it out now, so the track's going to be great. I think if it stays like that, we're going to have some really good racing. The lap times don't matter. It's all about having close, fast, safe racing, and that's what we want to see. A bit of pushing and shoving, but that's to be expected for an Aussie title.
Well, it's another level tonight from last night, isn't it? You got you and another 7 seeded riders, plus the 8 from last night in the field. Jam-packed full of cream of Australian sidecars.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it's all about. When you get to the pointy end, there's no easy race for the whole night. You're going to have to earn every single one of them. And, if you get tagged coming in the first corner, you're going to have to make it up. And you just got to be run clean and hopefully you don't tag anybody else and get thrown out.
Good work, mate. Best wishes.
Thanks, Graham.
Darren Nash, I reckon he hasn't got as many nerves as you. Graham Sindon, I think he's got you in one as we prepare for Heat 5. Bring them out, and those pit reports brought to us by RCA Civil. We thank Steve Sullivan and the boys for all that presentation. As number 1, Jack Summerling's back with us. Who we've got here? We've got number 9. Is that young Trelaw? Could be, I think. Yep. Yes, we've got. We'll take a look at the lineup. So red out of 1 should be Mick Headland and Troy Davies. Blue out of 2 should be Jack Summerling and Nathan McFadden. You reckon he's a relation of Jack? Could be.
Yep.
Out of gate 3, White, Max House and Riley Commons. They're out in New South Wales, and another New South Wales team there too on their meted outside. That's Jake Trelaw. That's the son of Darren with his passenger Eli Wright. So almost ready, just a little bit of gardening happening here with Davies off the back of the Headland bike. Mick says, well, that's about it. What can they do? We'll find out in about 65 seconds' time. Over to you, Con.
Thanks, Grant. The green flags and the checkered flag goes up, and biff and baff, slip and slide, crash, and the Sultans of Slides are locked together. And I think that the rightly so, a referee tonight, Angus Bajo, has brought them back, and some of the riders are showing not very good manners, but hey, this is an Australian title. There is no place for the weak at heart in the sport. So as they come back into line, don't be frightened to show a bit of emotion. Put your hands together, because these are the guys you're paid to motortain you here tonight at the Motorplex and at the Pinjar Speedway tonight. And the number 5 machine, Max House, was spoken to by the referee, and the rider's been told to come out of the line straight, no cutting across the field. This is a sidecar title, and we don't want to see you crashing. So they've all been warned.
It's a pretty tight entry, Con, isn't it? Into turn one. You go to the end of the straight. It's not a sweeping turn until you get into it. So it's a pretty tight turn to the right. So you can see why the guys angle across.
Up goes the tapes in a very good dispatch that time. The yellow helmeted rider sweeps on the outside and grabs the lead with a paralysing burst of speed. Shane Hudson throws the bike sideways off the end of the back straight, moves into the main straight, out of turn number 4. The red helmeted rider back in second place. Monson then back to Byron Gates doing a fantastic job. But wow, the Soldier Slider really turning it on here tonight at Pinjar speed. A blistering speed by the second place getter in the blue helmet rider down past our broadcast position. The yellow helmeted rider out in front of Shane Hudson, and he's doing it very well indeed. He's got a fair bit of Western Australia between he and second, but the second and third place getters are really and truly fighting out. Jake Trelaw, and it's Jake Trelaw coming along very well. Then they're riding well in front, but how's this back for these guys working hard? Back in second place, the blue helmeted rider doing a pretty good job. That is Summerton, but down the back straight for the last time. Out of turn number 4. Oh man, oh man, oh man. We've seen something here tonight. Jake Trelaw, the blue helmeted rider in second place with Summerton. And then we found the red helmeted rider of Mick Hedlund. But Jake Trelaw, he is a rocket ship. We're going to have to get Graham to have a talk to this young guy, because just look at the way this kid flew out of the gate. He's probably hardly wet behind the ears, but he did a magnificent job, Grant.
Well, I think we can probably have a good look on the big screen at the riders going around. But yeah, young Jake Trelaw got right around the outside of those 3 riders inside of him who were battling, jostling, shuttling into each other, and he just rode right around the outside, as you called, Con. He's done it in 64.654. 64.654. Magnificent victory. I don't know that Jake Trelaw would be more than about 17 or 18. Graham Sindon, what do you reckon?
No, you're right.
Well, what a race that was. You got a great start and you were never headed. That was wonderful sidecar racing.
Yeah, you know, that's the plan all the time, you know, all night. Just get the gate and go, you know. If you can get the start and right there on the inside, if you have enough pace, it's going to be hard for them to go around you.
A lot of pressure last night for you to qualify tonight, but you're in the field. Great stuff.
Yeah, it was. You know, last night with the track being rough, I struggled a lot with arm pump. I couldn't really hold on to it. So, you know, I was glad I got through it, and tonight feeling better and ready to go.
Great stuff. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Graham Sindon. Right, we have Plaisted and Ben Pitt, South Australians, doing a bit of work. The red helmeted rider is Monsoon and Summer Hayes. The blue is Byron Gates and O'Loughlin. They've already had, I think, a victory in their first ride, and then we've got Hudson and Constable.
So this will be a beautiful race, Con. Monson and Summer Hayes, they won their first one. Gates and O'Loughlin, very competitive. Plaisted and Pitt, they won their first one as well, as did Hudson and Constable, who charged through the field. So we've got 3 unbeaten riders in this one. This one will go a long way to determining that top 7. You've got to get to that top 7
now
to get through.
If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're from interstate, welcome. You're in for a hell of a night. Here we are at heat number 6 of the 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship as the tapes go up and the white helmeted rider works into straight and shoved out the road. Absolutely no respect. He's got a double biffy and he's gone to the side of the track. The red helmeted rider who took him out is Brody Cohen, so he is a very aggressive rider. Back in second place, the yellow helmeted rider of Damon Nish, then back to the blue helmeted rider in Radford. What a tragedy for that young guy. He gated beautifully, but something has come off the motorcycle. So Brody Cohen and Jesse Hedlund working very hard. Well, you've heard Graham Sindon talk to these guys earlier in the day, and they really and truly did a fantastic job as Monson and Summer Hayes, and they did it pretty good. Get it right, Con. So Summer Hayes and Monson, then back to the yellow helmeted rider of Hudson, and then finally back to the blue helmeted rider of Byron Gates and O'Loughlin. But down the back straight we go once again to a checkered flag. as Monson and Summerhays keeps a very clean sheet as across the line, they'll go across the line in second place, then back to our third place man in Hudson, and then we find Byron Gates. But a very good ride, and now we've got one rider who's been undefeated so far. Grant, give us the time.
Yep, the time was 64.414, and the result of that one is the Australian champion Mark Plaisted failing to finish that one, caught up on that first turn incident, if you like, with Monson and Summerhays, and he's come off the worst, went to the infield, did not finish that event. Your winner, Warren Monson out of Victoria. Second home was Shane Hudson out of Constable, and third place to Byron Gates and Mick O'Loughlin. Graham Sinden.
Andrew, second time we've interviewed you in as many races. Wonderful stuff. Warren must be a bit camera shy, is he?
He doesn't like talking on camera. That race was a tough one. We needed that one, so pretty happy with the result. Track's starting to get a little bit better now, so from the first round, so we're just ticking along, you know. We treat every rider like they're the same. Doesn't matter who they are. We just do our best and do what we can do.
Great work again. Thanks very much.
That's Andrew Summerhays, who's a passenger for Warren Monson. And they've got two big wins on the board. So in that one, they've beaten Hudson and Constable into second place, and they've beaten the other rider in Byron Gates into third place. Mark Pitt, as you can see on the big screen, there he is going slowly off the track. There's not a lot to be seen there, but you can see him rolling slowly off, so perhaps something did happen to the Plaisted bike. Pretty good time there for Warren Monson, but we haven't dipped underneath that 64. That last night we had a lot of 63s, but we'll see if we can dip under that. But it's, I think, Brodie Cohen who's out there now with passenger, having a look at the inside line there. That's Jesse Headland. So this is Heat 7. It's brought to you by Midland Hire and Haulage, bringing us all at the beginning of these heats on the big screen. So your riders, Brodie Cohen, Jesse Headland, red out of 1. Rick Stevens, Nat O'Brien, blue out of 2. This is, I think it might be Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox will be white out of 3, and then Damien Niche and Mitchell Spear, who will be yellow out of 4. Spear, or Niche, Rundloff and Cohen all came out of last night's qualifier.
Up goes the tapes as they jump out there very quickly. We see Trelaw very quickly in the lead on the outside as he moves down the back straight. Back in second place is Cohen, and then we find the blue helmeted rider going along quite well, but he is really flying at the moment as Trelaw out in front. Now he's about to show us the form that's made him one of the greats of all time in sidecar racing in this country. Back in second place is Cohen and Headland, and then a gap to the blue helmeted rider going very well indeed. But Bishop's going along quite well, but it's the Bishop boys doing a very good job there in a green helmet. So though the reserves coming out down the back straight, so we've had it now out in front. Trelaw doing it very well indeed with Cox, Blake Cox, his passenger. The yellow flag's out. Back in second place is Cohen. Then we find Bishop, and then the yellow helmeted rider of Nish. But there's no doubt about this guy. He's won 10 of them before. Put your hands together, Pinjar, as the Sultans of Slide move into the main straight, and it's Trelaw across the line first. Back in second place, a very good ride from Brodie Cohen. Then we find the Bishops, and a very good race, and I bet you my bottom dollar that Graham Sinden will be grabbing Darren Trelaw and ask him, has he been a sleeping giant since he's been here in God's country in beautiful downtown Pinjar, Western Australia, Grant?
Well, he's the first rider tonight to drop under 64. So Darren Trelaw, Blake Cox, 63.96 was their time, 63.962. So well done, Darren Trelaw. Graham Sinden, over to you.
Darren Treloar, the trawlers are pouring on the points here with young Jake, last heat winner. The track totally different last tonight. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's completely different tonight. That's what caught me out in the first one. I just couldn't even turn the throttle on and want to go around backwards on me. So we changed a lot of things for that one. It's better. So yeah, like I said, it's just completely different. Chalk and cheese from last night. So we sort of had to set up from last night. It was nowhere near it. So we've changed it. And like I said, we're on the money now. So hopefully, we're can't drop any more points. Basically, we want to get to that A final and have a go. So see how we go.
Well, a lovely big 3 points here, and must give you a lot of confidence going forward.
Oh, it does. Every race you win's confidence, but like I said, we're only round 2. We've still got a few more to go yet, so just got to keep me head down and keep going.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Darren Treloar really needed to win that one because he came up with a big fat 0 in his first heat out, so he's turned that around entirely, managed to get to 3, but as he's pointed out, still a long way to go, only their second heat. Here's this next one out now, next heat, which look at Stevens and O'Brien, Nash and Shield, Wells and Tyler Moon and Adam Lovell.
Up goes the tapes and away they go. But Nashy gets a very good start. 3 trying to make it into 2 as the red helmeted rider of Stevens grabs the lead as they thunder down the back straight there. Back in second place, the young Nash doing a pretty good job in the rider, riding up right to the safety fence. He gets out of harm's way as Rick Stevens out in front. Back in second place is now Nash. He's grabbed the lead. Now here's the son of a former 5-time Australian champion. He's a multiple West Australian champion, a champion road racer, and riding with injury at the moment as the West Australian rider gets through lap number 2. And at the moment, he is getting the result that he so dearly wanted as they goes down the back straight. Stevens and O'Brien in second place. Then we find Moon and Lovell. But here is Darren Nash gets the yellow flag. 1 lap to go here at Pinjar. And it is going to be a wonderful victory for him if he keeps the bike pointing in the right direction. Throws the bike out of turn number 4. Come on, Pinjar. Let's hear it now. Across the line, Nash and Shield. A very good ride. Then we find Stevens and O'Brien, and then back to the yellow helmeted rider of Moon and Lovell. I'd like to welcome the big boss of motorcycling, WA, Carl Cassotti. Good to see you, Carl. A very hard-working man behind the scenes. Motorcycling West Australia have just recently moved to, in the last 12 months, to their brand new headquarters in Malaga, and that gentleman is really and truly driving the sport in the right direction here in the state of the Golden West. So the riders back in the pits will get Graham Sindon now to talk to a rider. Let's hope he's brought some luck to tonight.
Well, put your hands together, folks. West Australia, what a win, Darren. The adjustments you made to the bike seemed to work for you then.
To be honest with you, we didn't adjust anything, just get the nerves out the way, have a bit of fun and ride it properly, That's I was just getting on it too hard earlier. Got to be steady.
And the injury didn't seem to be giving you any grief in that one?
No, not yet, mate. I'll get through the night. It's definitely happening now. I can feel the adrenaline kicking in, starting to loosen up. I'll be all good. We'll get a good night in. Obviously, it's going to be our last night, so we're going to give it 110%.
I'll bet you will. Well, 3 big points, Bank. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks very much, Graham Sindon, working overtime in the pit area to do the interviews. There'll be a little bit of manicuring of the track. And it's interesting to see that riders saying they're just getting some of the nerves out of their way. It's amazing, Grant. No matter how many times you do this, commentators, officials, everyone, they get nervous on in the night, and we're prone sometimes to make a couple of mistakes.
Well, I think you've got to have that nervous energy. You've got to have that adrenaline running through you. And Nashy's very calm, and he's very one of those guys who's just so easy to deal with. But I reckon he'd still be pretty nervous.
Righto, we've got to pay a few bills. We'll be right back in a few moments. Don't leave the venue.
Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904, 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA. Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Grant's Car Stereo Morley, proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years, selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate, from a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley, or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
Well, I've got Ralph here from the Playstead camp. I just wanted to ask you what the issue was with the bike in that last heat.
Yeah, mainly it was just first corner and unfortunately just the shunt took the chain off, so obviously lost drive and yeah, race is over with unfortunately, but the boys are putting the chain back on, so yeah, all good.
I see Mark was looking to the referee to see he was going to get a restart after the shunt, but no such luck.
No, I mean, yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? You know, it's first corner bunching, and normally if the passenger comes off, and you can go again, but it would have been hard for Mark to go again with the chain off. So, yeah, difficult run, really.
All right, well, hope they can get it all sorted and get back on track and get some more points.
Yeah, for sure. I think they will, you know. He'll be pumped up now to do good in his third one, for sure. So, yeah, all good, mate. Thank you.
Up until then, he'd been riding exceptionally well.
Oh, yeah, Mark's dedicated to it, and then he's upset because this is what's happened, but it's speedway racing, isn't it?
It is. Thanks for your time.
Sure, thank you.
We'd like to welcome Mr. Des Ferris tonight, the leading architect. Des is soon to go to the United States of America for about 6 weeks. He's taking in the big race at Eldora, paying $1 million to win the big sprint car race, and then he's going to go over to the other side of America to be with his mate in Ronnie Miller, the late model Ace, and we'll be touring with him for a few weeks. So good on you, mate, and certainly like and welcome to Pinjar tonight, and we sincerely hope that you're enjoying a wonderful night here and a beautiful weather in little old Perth, Western Australia. Very nice to see. Jimmy Phillips is here, former West Australian Speedway champion. I saw Warwick Lang, Ross McNichol.
What about that parade, Con?
Yeah.
All the Aussie champs? You had quite a few there.
Some of those great riders that bring back very fond memories of our days at Claremont and our days around the motocross world and at the Speedway world. And it's good to see these guys still enjoying a night out of Speedway. Righto, we're going to do a bit of a tech talk now, so look at the super screen.
Well, hello, I'm Graham Sinton. I'm here with Russell Mitchell, and together we're going to bring you some tech talk pieces.
Yep. Yep.
We hope you enjoy them.
Russell, mud flaps on the Speedway sidecars are an integral part of the design these days, and you played a major role in getting these, or this regulation in place. Just walk us through mud flaps and the design.
Well, more about this is the newer design, and it's been passed and everyone's moving to. The previous design for mud flaps were sides and a round section, and what would happen is the clay and dirt would build up and then come off in clumps. And you also, if you run in a hole off the start line, it would bottom out and hold the bike off the ground. We've introduced this one, was similar to before any rules are in, was similar in design. Simplified, so there's no cheating. Really easy to measure, one size fits all. You'll notice on this, this seat, there's an extra bit on because you've got requirements for seat height, and if they're not right, the bike's illegal with the seat height anyway. The beauty of this type of design is it deflects the dirt off and stops it going over the fence. If you want to race speedway and you're a passenger and you don't want any dirt on you, it's just not possible. Part of the game, part of the challenge is to stay out of people's roofs, and that's part of the game.
I noticed they're built in 3 different sections and 3 different types of material. Just walk us through that.
We've got 2 pieces of polyethylene plastic, which are flexible, so that you've got a little bit of movement, and then you've got rubber at the bottom that should be 20 mil. The seat's not sitting correctly at the moment, but they've got to be 20 mil from the ground. So the more dirt that is flicked into it, the bigger angle it'll become, and it'll deflect the dirt back down. And so it works quite well without slowing the bikes down too much.
Telling us a little bit how sidecars went. Barry Briggs was the first man to bring in the mud deflector off Speedway motorcycles. At the time when it was introduced to Speedway, they laughed at it, but wow, does it make it for better racing now, because the riders don't get filled in like they used to, and it does then you, the spectator, get the benefit from that, because you can go out and see the riders, although they get some mud, some dirt, but they don't get filled in like they used to. So Grant, the next race coming out is heat number 9 of this 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship at Pinjarra in Western Australia. This is around about 45 to 50 minutes to the north of Perth, and if you know Western Australia, you live towards Geraldton. Well, you're on your way to Geraldton, but it's not that far. It's next to the International Road Racing Circuit, the AGS motocross track, and the go-kart headquarters, and a lot of motorsport in the Western Australia all come to this region of Western Australia, and we certainly are very grateful to be here. We're not far from a great international golf course called the Wanneroo Golf Club, and this is a hugely growing area. In fact, when the motorbikes first come here, there was hardly a resident. Now we're virtually wall-to-wall houses right up to Wanneroo, the city of Wanneroo, which is another, not far from this track, is the great Luch Monty. Talk about people going to America. Luch is on his way to America. He's bought a brand new American sprint car team. His car won the feature race last night with the real deal Jamie Veal, and he's buying a team, and he's going to do the World of Outlaws from July for 8 weeks. Good on you, Luch. Thanks for your help you give us here.
Just ahead of this race, Con, the news from the pits that one of the riders, one of the teams, Shane Rudloff and Scott Morris from South Australia, have withdrawn from the meeting. I believe engine problems. The Rudloff-Morris bike, they'll be out, and they'll be replaced by reserves through the evening. You've just seen Jeff and Daniel Bishop come out, so Rudloff and Morris out for the night, unfortunately for them. I just need to do a little bit of backtracking too, because I failed to mention our sponsors for the second set of heats: John Gall Photography, Gawler Motorcycle Centre out of Adelaide, and then Classic Hire and Fuster Transport Services. So we thank John Gall, we thank Gawler Motorcycles, Classic Hire and Fuster Transports as we bring this heat out. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, red out of 1. Tyler Moon, Adam Lovell, well, actually out of Queensland, but the graphic says New South Wales, but they're actually out of Queensland. They're out of position 2, the blue helmet, and then Jack Sammerling and Nate McFadden. They're from New South Wales. They're out of 3, and then Brody Cohen, Jesse Headland. They are out of Queensland. So we need a reserve. Apparently, we've got one of the problems. Maybe it's with the moon bike. I'm not
the
sure.
bike was going okay. They took his helmet off him.
Yep.
He's got 120 on his back. His passenger's got 16.
Well, the 16 is the number that they've been allocated for the championship. 120 would be his normal riding number. So he's gone back into the pits. So we'll just see what's happened here, because that was the scheduled lineup.
Yep.
Hudson, Moon, Summerling, and Cohen.
So he was disqualified because he had
exceeded
gone over
the time.
2 minutes time to be to the line. And who's the passenger? Who's the replacement?
So Steve Fowler will come in. He is the reserve who will join this particular heat. So referee not brooking any nonsense. So Moon and Lovell out of that one, and Fowler's come in his place. There's Fowler lighting up. He's got the black helmet on. The black colour's gone.
Yep.
So this is heat 9.
The tapes are up and a very good start from the Yellow Rider. That's Brody Cohen, the Queenslander, but he hasn't got the power to keep it on, so the red helmeted rider Hudson goes down the back straight. Remember, the track has just been freshly manicured, so out of turn number 4, the track a little bit slippery, but this young rider doing it very well indeed. Back in second place, the white helmet rider of Sutherland and Nathan McFadden. Then we find back to the yellow rider of Brody Cohen, who won his first heat, but has just failed a little bit at this stage, but very good riding on the part of Hudson as at the halfway mark, 2 down and 2 to go. Then back in second place is something, and McFadden in third place, and bringing up the rear is Fowler. But no doubt about this young man, he's getting the yellow flag. 1 lap left to go here at the Pinjar Speedway. So our race leader is Shane Hudson and Alan Constable from New South Wales. Back in second place, a great battle. It'll go to the white helmeted rider of Sutherland and McFadden. And then we find Brody Cohen and Jesse Headland bringing up there in third place. Unfortunately, young Moon was disqualified because he overshot the time. You have, when the siren is gone in the pits, you have 2 minutes as Graham Sinden is about to interview a rider.
Well, these guys had a great night last night, and you're continuing on. That's 2 big wins on the trot, is it? So you're really going well.
Well, we're scoring good points tonight, and this is a game that's not over until it's over. So we're just working our way towards the final and anyone's race. Real proud of my boy. He's doing such a magic job on those bars. We're just having a great weekend.
Now, Shane, you're a tall guy. How do you operate your gear change? Is that a bit of a problem for you?
No, my dad does like a bit of work to accommodate my height and all that. But yeah, you know, we got a bit balked in that second heat in the first corner. We're going for a cutback, but hey, we're getting them on the board, and that's what matters. We've got another 2 more heats, and yeah, we're getting pretty close to the finals now.
Sounds good to me. Well done.
Good on you, Graham, and great to see you. I love it. Well, it's
not over till it's over. Well, I think he summed it up right there.
Yeah, look, right.
Hudson and Constable, they were the 3rd top qualifiers from last night, so they weren't directly seeded in, so they've had to come through last night's program. They finished 3rd on points last night. Might have had a major except for a miscue when they went onto the infield, and it means you're disqualified. So they're in with a big shot, and you know, they're right up there in the points, and I'm going to go out on a limb at this point, Con, and say they will be top 7. They will be in either the A or B final the way they're going.
Right, that's Grant Woodhams. Here's the Ruthless Wells brothers, Mark House and Riley Commons. Shane Rudloff and is out due to the fact that he has mechanical problem, and Mac Playstead and Brad Pitt from South Australia. So only 3 riders in this particular race.
So, yeah, the
reserve in.
The explanation, yeah, they just don't have the reserve ready.
Up goes the tapes, and a very good start from the yellow helmeted rider at Playstead, but no, he just gets cut up, but they come out of pit spin, thunder down the back straight, and out in front doing a good job. We have Mac Playstead and Brent Pitt moving very wide on the speedway track, then back to House and Commons, and bringing up the rear is the Wild Wells brothers down at 2 laps down, 2 to go at the halfway mark in the 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship. 2 down, 2 to go at the moment. This young man looking very relaxed behind the steering wheel, the handlebars, if you can do that on a speedway motorcycle. Into the top turn for the last time. The yellow flag is awaiting that rider, Playstead and Pitt. So across the line with the blue helmeted rider of House and Commons starting to peg them back. So 3/4 of a lap left to go through the top turn. Keep your eye on House and Howley. They thunder into the top straight. It shuts him out the road. It doesn't work as across the line goes Playstead. No, he doesn't. And the blue helmeted rider of House and Commons, Playstead in second place. Wow, what a ride. And then the Wild Wells brothers. You know, it's not over until the fat baby sings. And what a ride from that young gentleman as he threw caution to the wind, showed no respect and took the lead right on the line. That's why we call them the Sultans of Slide here tonight at Pinjar Speedway. And look at this for replay on the front right screen from Matty Williamson, catching all the excitement and thrills of speedway sidecar racing, and Graham is about to talk to a very happy rider.
Well, boy, oh boy, guys, you did it the hard way, but you did it fantastically. That was a great ride.
Yeah, we started pulling Mark in a little bit, and I thought, why not keep pushing, and yeah, we got there. Yeah, we're starting to figure out the track a bit better. It's the first time here, so I'd just like to thank all the sponsors and everyone who helped us get over here. It's been great.
Well, you went underneath Mark Playstead, current Australian champion. That must give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I'll try not to let it get to me head. We'll keep pushing through the night. Still got 2 more heats to go, so see how we go in the end.
Do you think on a big event like this you can tend to overthink things and get caught up a little bit rather than just do as you said, just go out and enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I can. I tend to overthink a little bit when it comes to this type of thing, and it is a bit scary, but I try not to think about it.
Good guys, well done. Congratulations.
Max House and his passenger Riley Commons there, winners of the last event, talking with Graham Sinden in the pits here at Pinjar. The time for that last one, 65.41. House first, Playstead second, Wells third. As we come to the line with this one, I'll call the lineup for you. Darren Nash, Ash Shield will be red out of 1. Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright will be blue out of 2, so they're out of New South Wales. Damien Niche, Mitchell Spear out of South Australia will be white out of 3. And Monson and Summerhays, who unbeaten so far, yellow out of 4.
Righto, the riders in the hands of the starter now. Up goes the tapes and the yellow helmeted rider very quickly into state. That's Monsoon. Oh, and upside down goes the white helmeted rider. A very nasty fall. And as I said, these young guys, they come in very heavy. So we'll just hush for a few moments and let the medical team do their job. Righto, mate. We'll just do a few ads and we'll get back to you.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA. Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Grant's Car Stereo Morley, proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years, selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate, from a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley, or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
Con, one of the things that a lot of people know you for, obviously you're involved with Claremont Speedway, but that's quite a while ago now. So one of your more recent and continuing involvements with the world of Speedway is with the radio programs that you're involved in. Just talk us through some of those and how we can tune in.
Well, we do a radio show, Graham Sinan and myself, we call it Let's Talk Speedway. It is on Sport FM 91.3. every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and we bring you top news and views, interviews with some of the great riders and drivers of the world of Speedway, and we don't leave anyone out. We try to cater for all forms of the Speedway sport, and we also do a Talking About Speedway YouTube's TV show, and we've been having some discussions with one of the networks in Perth, and we're hoping that next year that we'll be able to get into one of the major networks. But that's in the future. At the moment, our radio show is 91.3 Sport FM every Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
It looks like the boys from the Niche Spear team are up and about, according to the roars from the crowd we've just heard.
Yeah.
So no doubt they will have to go back to the medical hut here at Pinjar Park. So we still have a few minutes.
Yep.
So we do thank the good people from AMR for the work they do. So riders, there will be a little bit of a break in this one. Just to bring you, well, I can't give you a complete score update, so we might go to the end of round 2. At the end of round 2, Mick Headland, Troy Davies, they were on 2, as were Max House and Riley Commons. That's excluding the fact they won their last heat. After 2 heats, Monson and Summerhays, they'd won both theirs. They were on 6. Moon and Lovell were on 3. Nash and Shield were on 4. Mark Plaisted at that point was on 3. Summerling and McFadden were on 4. Darren Trelaw on 3. I believe we can get a replay courtesy of Grant's car stereo of that incident. And we're actually following the boys who are involved in that tip over.
Oh, the bike hit him.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Whacked him while he was down. So, very uncomfortable position to be in. But up and about and back to the pits, to the medical hut. I think I was just going through the points, and I think up to Darren Trelaw, Blake Cox, they were on 3. Brodie Cohen, Jesse Headland were on 5. Talking of Niche and Spear, they were yet to open their account. Hudson and Constable were on 5. Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright on 5. Byron Gates, Mick O'Loughlin on 1. The Wells brothers 0. Rick Stevens, Nick O'Brien on 3. Shane Rudloff, who we've mentioned, has withdrawn from racing tonight with engine difficulties, pulled the pin, he's out. Jeff Bishop had a run for 1 point, and Stephen Fowler had a run without scoring. So that's after 2 rounds, Con. We're partway through round 3.
Yep, very good, Grant, and tremendous to see such a good crowd here tonight. We really hope you're enjoying it. We do apologise for this delay, but as you can appreciate, when a rider, safety is most important, and the officials rightly have brought the meeting to a little bit of a standstill at the moment until such time as they can check that rider out. So if you're following your program, we're at heat number 11 of the Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship here at Pinjarra in Western Australia. And Darren Nash Ash Shield, the WA champions, are in red. Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright from New South Wales are in blue. And Warren Monsoon and Andrew Summerhays from Victoria are in yellow. I would suggest to say that Nish and Spear, who fell, that very heavy knock, as you can see, I don't think that there'll be any further place, particularly in this heat, so we'll see what the steward allows. But wow, very, very tough game at times. Just to see those things, but we all know that these are the things that can happen and
do happen. Yep. It's in the pursuit of speed.
Yep.
It's not always the easiest life. Now, Con, in this ice cream container here in front of me is no ice cream, so stay away from it.
Oh, shucks.
But I do have all the raffle tickets from the draw, so that's going to be drawn just ahead of the B final.
Wow.
So after we go through the 20 heats, we'll draw this raffle ahead of the B final. If you've got a ticket in the raffle, good chance that you're going to win one of the 2 bibs that all of the riders for the Australian Sidecar Championships have signed. So we will draw that ahead of the B final.
Graham is going to quickly give us an end of view.
Well, I'm just here with the Damien Niche paddock. Have you got any update with the boat rider and passenger?
Yeah, I think Mitch come out of it all right, but Damien's knocked himself out, so it's called our night short. A bit of a disappointing one, but we'll be here next year and let's make up for it.
All right, best wishes. Give them our best.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Graham. And riders coming up now. The blue helmeted rider will be
the rerun.
Young Mark House. I should say it'll be Jake Trelaw. He's the son of a gun. Darren Nash is in red. And Warren Monsoon, I should say, is in yellow.
So this probably, in some cases, advantages Monson, because otherwise he's over here right up next to the fence. Now he can probably creep over just a little bit because he's not going to... you can see the lines are marked out. They can't get outside of those, but he can creep a long way over, get a little bit closer to that now vacant gate 3. So a little bit of gardening going on. Nash and Shields, Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright, and then Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays, undefeated to this point, Con. The boys here on the outside on the orange bike.
In the hands of the starter now. Flags jump up and the yellow helmeted rider of Monson, and Summer Hayes quickly on the outside, grabs the lead with a paralysing burst of speed, moves down the back straight now. Plenty of action on the raceway at the moment. The blue-helmeted rider slips under Darren Nash, and that's young Trelaw. He's on a mission as they thunder down the main straight. Out in front is Monson and Summer Hayes, then back to Trelaw and Eli Wright. Back in third place is Nash and Shield. Down the back straight they go once again. At the halfway mark, 2 laps and down and 2 to go. Heat number 11, 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship. And it's Monsoon out in front and doing a pretty good job. Trelaw starts to peg him back. A lap and a half left to go. Into the top turn. Out of turn number 4. Keep your eye on Trelaw in second place now as they move into the top turn for the last time. The yellow helmeted rider Monsoon and the Summer Hayes. Then we find Trelaw and Eli Wright. Then back to the WA champion Darren Nash and Shieldsy. But out of turn number 4. Come on, Pinjar. Put your hands together. Warren Monsoon and Summer Hayes. Back to Trelaw and Wright. And Nashi and Shield crossed the line in third place. The time of 64.304. Not what Darren Nash would have wanted, but nevertheless he's got 4 points from 3 rides, and his back is well and truly against the wall as Graham Sinan is about to grab the winning rider in one Warren Monson with Andrew Summerhays.
Waiting for the boys to get the helmets off.
Just waiting to get the helmet off. Boy, oh boy, Warren really is camera shy. That was a great start and a wonderful race.
Yeah, no, very happy with that. I hope Nishi's all right, you know. He's a hard competitor. We have some good battles with him, so that's racing. But no, we're happy. You know, it puts us in a good spot now. So, but like I said, you treat everybody the same. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing and get around. Track's getting a lot better and better, so pretty happy.
Well, you're piling on those points. You must be just about getting excited for the finals.
Yeah, don't ever say that. You just keep going.
Thanks very much.
Good on you, mate. That's the way. You just keep on going. Right now, Mick Hedlund, Troy Davies, Rick Stevens and Nick O'Brien, Byron Gates and Mick O'Loughlin, and Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox. Graham, Grant, give us the starters, where they'll be in what position.
So they'll line up on our front row screens, sports screen, very shortly for us, and be able to super those names up for you. But on the down the bottom there, on the red helmet, will be Mick Hedlund and Troy Davies out of South Australia. And we've got, 69. So won't be Rudloff and Morris because they're out for the night. So it's in fact Stevens and O'Brien who are in that gate, gate 2. Then we've got Byron Gates and O'Loughlin, Victoria out of 3. And Darren Trelaw, Brad Cox, yellow out of 4.
Yep, so here they are. Up goes the tapes and a very good start from Trelaw combination. Wow, and there's one rider on his side. They've let the race go. Unfortunately, the guy who's pulled out the red lights have come on. That's a very good decision on behalf of the steward of Angus, because that rider was definitely balked. Something flew off the bike.
Yep.
And the marshal's now going to pick it up.
Hugely disadvantaged, the boys following, weren't they? They would have seen that, and you said, as you used the word, balked, correct.
But
so,
how good was Trelaw then, mate? Oh, what? He was a rocket ship. If you come here tonight to discount this man, at your peril, believe you me, he is right on the JOB. The hearts are thumping, the adrenaline's are pumping here tonight at Pinjar. Make no mistake about that, as the riders come back into the starting hands of the position. And the white helmeted rider looks like he is out. So that's Byron and Mick O'Loughlin are out.
So they're out.
They're OUT.
I tell you. Ooh.
So that's going to be a death that they've come all the way to have that bad luck after winning their first race. Those children look like they sound like they're in our PA box.
They do. They're in the big sand pit there. They love it. So Hedlund and Davies, Stevens and O'Brien and Trelaw and Cox ready to do battle again. Just final bit of adjustment here for Mick Hedlund and Troy Davies. We're in the red. They're in gate 1. Ready to go again. Trelaw, can he repeat the NASA rocket launch?
6 brave men. As the tapes go up, and again it's Trelaw very quickly into stride, and he makes an absolute clean sheet of it that time. So he has done it very well with Blake Cox, the sidecar passenger. Back to Headland and Davies going along very well indeed. Then we find Stevens and O'Brien. So 1 lap down and 3 to go. And Trelaw is looking very, very menacing as he moves down the back straight. The outfit really working in the right direction. Out of turn number 4, coming down the main straight, 2 laps down and 2 to go. So Trelaw and Cox back in second place. The red-headed rider of Headland and Davies, the South Australian combination. Then Stevens and O'Brien. But the yellow flag comes out from Graham as they move down the main straight here now at Pinjar. The track in excellent condition, and the rider's looking very, very good behind the handlebars. Trelaw looks a picture of consistency. This is what made him one of the all-time greats of the sport in Speedway. It is Trelaw and Blake Cox across the line from Headland and Davies, and back there in second place and third place is Stevens and O'Brien. But that was an absolute clinic put on by a 10 times national champion. Come on, Pinjar, put your hands together. That was absolutely magnificent. I bet you Graham Sinnon will be right on the job to try and grab a few words from the former national champion.
Yeah, Trelaw will be looking to add another one later on tonight because his form is just so good. So the sleeping giant is awake, Con Micro. His time 64.26. He leaps up the leaderboard. We're just going to see if Graham can track him down. We've got live cam over there in the pits as we follow the passenger on the number 7. We've got Graham along.
Not bad for a 90-year-old guy.
No, it's very good as we bring you our coverage of the Benco 2023 Australian Sidecar Championships here from Pinjar Park in the marvellous suburbs of Perth in Western Australia. So here we go, and now we've got a helmet off. I think we might be going to track down Blake Cox after a mouthful of very refreshing Aquavita.
Just a quick one, Blake. That was a fantastic race. You jumped out of the blocks. I think you were at bike and a half length after about 2 metres.
Yeah, well, that's the aim of the game here. You've got to get to the first corner and get out of that turn 2 in front and go where you want to.
And gate 4 doesn't seem to have any problems?
Not at the moment, but we'll see what happens throughout the night. Obviously on a racing line, so it may go away, but it seemed to work then. A couple of heats before it did as well, so it's all right.
And I see on lap 2, Darren was looking over his shoulder to see where everyone else was.
Yeah, well, you got to know where they are, especially coming on that last lap, but yeah, it's good fun.
Good stuff. Well done. Thanks very much.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA. Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Grant's Car Stereo Morley. Proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years. Selling top name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate. From a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley. Or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
I'm in the pits here with Adam Lovell, passenger for Tyler Moon. Just walk us through that last heat you had there.
Oh, mate, we were just a bit pressed for time. We were out in the last heat and the round before, and then first heat, and then made a silly mistake like not changing our helmet colours and wouldn't let us ride, so not much we can do about that, is there?
Well, it's put a bit of a dent in the points, but are you enjoying your stay here so far?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Hey, the hospitality, everyone around, like, it's been awesome. Like, even the countryside, just getting their head down south and see the beaches, see the country. It's good.
Fantastic. Now, you guys won an award from the Australian Speedway Riders Association last night for the most improved speedway rider for 2022-23. That must have been a big thrill.
Yeah, no, it was, mate. A bit of a surprise for us, and they sort of let us in on it just before they give it to us, and yeah, we're a bit shocked, but it's really cool, yeah.
Well, I don't get those out of Wheatie packets. There's a panel of about 18 or 20 judges, and they look at all the races through the season, so that's a pretty important award.
Yeah, no, mate, it's a very special award, 100 years of the association this year, and they give it to us, so proud as we can be.
Well, let's hope that you and Tyler can turn things around and bag some points for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah, no, we'll give it our best shot, eh?
Well done. Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very
Graham.
much. Thank you, mate. And just whilst we're at that, I'd like to say good day to Bill Powell in Sydney, New South Wales. He is from Sans Souci. Good on you, Bill. Thank you for your tremendous work you're doing for the Veteran Speedway Riders Association. And the former president, who is now living here in little old Western Australia, who does a lot of good work, and Colin McKee, former international speedway racer, a very dear friend of mine, and he and I are both the custodians of the Ron Johnson grave, which some speedway fans in England put together when the late Geoffrey Miller QC was did the fundraising in England to put a tombstone on Ron's grave, and that's great. So we thank Billy and we thank Colin and the Veteran Riders Association. I've been a member of that association since Adam was the Lance Corporal in the Boy Scouts.
How did you get promoted so high?
Well, I still have to pay my membership. not promoted that high.
Colin McKee was here last night with his good wife Trish to make that presentation to Tyler Moon and Adam Lovell.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Colin. He's gone on to car racing in his later years.
There you go.
His son is a wingless sprint driver, and he has a McLaren old Formula One car which he races here in Vintage and Vitron cars. And Desi first, Desi, I've noted your complaint, but I've tried to get it done, but I don't think they've got much luck at the moment. We're working on it.
I thought Des was bringing you some hot coffee, so I thought that was the complaint.
Didn't you know that Desi's got a Dugite in his pocket?
I've got to do some sponsorship stuff, Con. Dugite. Farrell Transport out of Newcastle. So we're just going through some of our heat sponsors that we've run. So big acknowledgement to Farrell Transport out of Newcastle. Also Rob and Lou Wilson. Classic Hire, GTS Steel Fabrications, General Steel Fabrication, Metal Sign Fabrication. Graham and Tony who do all of that. We did mention earlier Gawler Motorcycles. We thank them for their support, as well as SM Freight. And Road and Race Motorsports, who put the Liptrot sidecar together. So I think we might be good for an interview again if we are organised. Are we organised?
Go, Graham.
Yes, thanks, Grant. I'm over here with Warren Monsoon. You've got an unusual starter motor set up on the bike here.
Yeah, it's just a Toyota Prado onto a Boss that goes into the front sprocket, so it's pretty easy.
Now, talking about your night, you must be thrilled with your point system so far.
Yeah, points is good so far. Just need to keep it rolling and try and make the final.
All right, well, you're out in the next one, so best wishes and keep the points rolling along.
Thank you.
Thanks, Graham, and I'd like to say very clever people around the scene, haven't they? They do these various things like Russell Mitchell wasn't only a dash good rider, but he was also a brilliant engineer, builder.
Innovator.
And absolutely. Yep. And you had a lot of great riders. Of course, you had the Joyce brothers also, and Dennis Nash were very clever as not only riders but also manufacturers. Let's go to the super screen now for another Tech Talk.
Russell, tell me about these handlebars from a layman's point of view. They look totally weird.
Yeah, Graham, well, it looks weird, and when you first start riding them, you'd think they're weird, but when you're on the track going as hard as you can, it all sort of fits in. So basically, when you're in a corner and you're sliding, these are parallel. You need this front bar further forward because as you need more weight, it allows the rider to get further forward and get some room. If they were normal, they'd be right in the way where your head is. So that's how we end up with the handlebars. One of the big mistake people do when they buy a bike is they don't put the right sort of handlebars on. So they're pretty much a stock item that needs to be exactly pretty much like that to go well.
Righto, so very good. Unfortunately, we do apologise about the sound volume. There is a little bit of a problem with that, but I think it's because it was done in a stadium, and that's.
Just some news through from the pits. With the absence, with the withdrawal from the meeting of Shane Rudloff and Scott Morris, I'm told that all of those rides that they are scheduled to be in will now be taken by those reserves that we mentioned earlier, who are Fowler and Mordaunt. Stephen Fowler and Byron Mordaunt will take all of the Rudloff and Morris rides for the night. So there might be some rides, Con. There might be some with only 3 riders in.
Right, so
I think maybe young Daniel Bishop is helping out as a passenger for someone else. So we might just be down to 3 rides on occasion. So just to confirm that as we know it, the rides that Rudloff and Edwards were supposed to have, Edwards and Rudloff and Morris, rather, Rudloff and Morris replaced entirely by Fowler and Mordaunt, as we do manage to get to round 4 of 5 rounds. So this is the first heat in this one, and it will be an absolute cracker. We've got some very, very gifted teams out there who are doing very well this evening, and we have a couple of teams who would like to grab some points. Have you found a wallet, Conroy?
Yes, a lady's handed a wallet here. It's in my hand. In fact, if you come up to the PA box, she will, if you've lost your wallet, come here, identify yourself to her, and she will give you back your wallet. Sir, we know it's a gentleman. We have Darren Trelaw, and
Trelaw and Cox, red out of 1. The Wells brothers blew out of 2.
Yes.
Monson and Summerhays unbeaten tonight so far, Con, out of Victoria. They're White out of 3, and then Summerling and McFadden, they're out of New South Wales, and they're yellow out of 4.
This
Watch
is going
this
to be
one.
Pretty special, isn't it? Will Trelaw reign supreme? Tapes up and away they go, racing in the white helmeted rider quickly into stride. But look at Trelaw, he's right on the business here at the moment. But the white helmeted rider of Monson thunders down the back straight. Then the red-headed rider of Trelaw grabs the lead. So the lead's changed twice and one rider sideways. That's the red helmeted rider of Trelaw and Cox. Then back there in second place going well as Monson and Summerhays. Then we find the blue-helmet team of the Wild Wells brothers. Then Summerhays and McFadden. Plenty of action at the halfway mark. 2 laps down and 2 to go. But Darren Trelaw starting to be very ominous over this race meeting at the moment at Pinjar Park as he thunders down the back straight, throws the bike there into the main straight as the yellow flag comes out. 1 lap left to go at Pinjar. Back in second place is Monson and Summerhays. Then we find the yellow helmeted rider going along pretty well as Summerling and McFadden. But there's just no doubt about this guy out of turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. That is what has made him a legend in our sport. Back in second place is the white rider of Monsoon, and then we find the other rider in the yellow, Summering and McFadden with the Wells boys, unfortunately missing their cue and finishing up there in 4th position. But another very exciting race. If you've lost your helmet, the young lady who found it is waiting at the back of the PA, so come up, identify yourself to her, and she'll return that to you.
Darren Trelaw time 64.19 brought to an end the winning run of Warren Monson, but Monson finishing second, and then back to Jake Summerling and Nathan McFadden. The Wells brothers back and forth, 64.19. Darren Trelaw on a real march here. He's got one more heat, I'd suggest, and he's probably going to have enough to be top 7, and that's what you had to be, Con.
Yeah, I'd like to see Graham grab Darren Trelaw. We'd like to hear what Darren's saying, but he's got a rider with him at the moment.
Yes, I've got Blake Cox again. We've just spoken recently. Another wonderful ride. Lowered Warren Monson's point score, so that's great.
Yeah, well, we're chasing them, so we need them points, and one more to go. See how we add up and see where that carries us into the finals.
And again, a great start.
Yeah, like I said, that's the aim of the game, mate. We seem to get it going at the moment, and setup's going right, so it's going well.
Thanks for your time. Take a deep breath.
Pretty important one coming out now. We got defending champion Mark Plaisted in this one. He's going to go up against West Aussie champs Darren Nash, Ash Shield, Queenslanders Brody Cohen and Jesse Headland. And as we come to the line, let's give you the lineup as it is officially screenshot, courtesy of Midland Hiab and Haulage. Plaisted Pitt, red out of 1. Headland Davies, blue out of 2. Nash and Shield, yellow out of 3. Cohen and Headland, yellow out of 4.
Up goes the tapes once again, a brilliant start. Well, the yellow position on the outside, the number 4 starting position is very fast indeed. Nashy had a bit of a nudge that time. He dropped a couple of places, so they come into the top turn and out of turn number 4. Our racer at the moment in yellow going very well indeed, and that is Brody Cohen. Well, he is a very professional rider. You've heard Graham talk about him. He's gone sideways. Now the red helmeted rider placed that in pit. What a race this is. An absolute lung buster. Heat number 14. They're out there playing for keeps. Plenty of action here at Pinjar. The Chief Steward's in my face as we come out of turn number 2. Down the back straight there and down in towards the top turn here now as the yellow flag comes out. 1 lap to go here at Pinjar. Out in front now going very well indeed is placed there in pit. Then further back to the white helmeted rider Cohen and Headland. What an absolute race. Then the yellow helmeted rider doing a great job of Cohen as they lock together in Mortal Kombat. The checkered flag comes out and across the line goes the red helmeted placed there in pit. Then back to the yellow helmeted rider of Cohen and Headland. Wow, what a race. Woo! Oh man, oh man, oh man, no place for the weak at heart as across the line in 64.273 and Grant, we have got ourselves an absolute motor race on our hands.
Haven't got a heart if you didn't love that one, because that was really something else to breathe deep. I know Graham Sinden often says these boys take one big breath before the race and then 4 laps later they take the next one. That would have been the case for that. That was just absolutely something else. That many lead changes, you couldn't count them, but at the end of the day, the win did go to Mark Plaisted and Ben Pitt. I would suggest it was probably Brody Cohen who just squeaked across the line in front of Darren Nash. They had a ding-dong, and then Mick Headland back in 4th. Right. What a winner.
Well, Graham's about to talk to winner chicken dinner.
Ben Pitt, what a race. Back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, changed a couple of things. And it seemed to work. Got out of the gate all right, and yeah, we've just got to pick up some points now and go from there.
Tremendous gate again. It seems to get you out a lot of bother if you can get in front into turn one.
Yeah, that's right, mate. If you can get out of the gate, you hopefully got the race, and that's what happened then, so it's good.
Well, let's go and build on those points. Best wishes.
Thanks very much, Graham. Just an update. Michael Fells has been taken to a hospital for observation. Terry Dorrington has just run through to say that he's been taken to hospital for observation. So as the night goes on, we'll try and let you know. We come to heat number 15, and Grant will give us starters and riders.
Yep, so Tyler Moon with passenger Adam Lavelle will hopefully make it out there on time, which they have done, and they've got the red helmet on, so they've done everything right this time, Con.
Yeah.
They came out last time without a helmet colour, and they got the countdown. There's the countdown on the big screen, so they can all see that. We've only got 2 riders there.
Oh my God.
So we obviously, this is one where we lost Damien Niche and we've lost Byron Gates, I'm going to suggest to you, with engine problems. So you've got 2 to call, Con.
Yep, make it easier for the old fella as the flags go up and the red helmeted rider of Moon and Lavelle take the lead as they go down the back straight past the pit spin. A virtual match race between 2 fine sidecar exponents. They come out of turn number 4 now and really racing side by side. The red helmeted rider of Moon and Lovell out in front doing it pretty good. Then back to the yellow helmet of House and Collins down the back straight. The lead changes once again. House grabs the lead with a paralysing burst of speed. Moves out of turn number 4. Thunders down the main straight here. 2 laps down and 2 to go. And it's House and Commons out in front. Back in second place and going well as Moon and Lovell. But they move down in towards the top turn. That's the Wanneroo Road Racing Circuit, end of the circuit. Out of turn number 4. The yellow flag indicates the riders. 1 lonely laps to go for House and Common. But they have got the race in their keeping. They would have to make the mistake not to win it as they move now out of turn number 4. Put your hands together, Pinjar. Cross the line, House and Commons, then back in third place, Moon and Lovell. And that's the way they finished. A pretty slow time compared to what we've seen, a 65.645, but another very interesting race. And I'm sure that Graham will be there to grab the race leader. It would be nice to hear from one of the handlebar heroes to hear what they talk about. We've spoken to what the passenger feels, but what about the riders, Graham?
Just delegate.
Well, Max House and Riley Commons here just pulling up. Boy, oh boy, what sort of a race it was these guys. I'll just wait for them to get their helmets off. Can we just have a quick word with you? You certainly did that the hard way, but it was a great ride.
Yeah, it was a good little battle between me and Mooney, just us out there. Trying not to take each other out and hopefully both get some points, but yeah.
Well, you just beat the current Queensland champion. You seem to have a big smile on your face and you look like you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun out there. Got to hold the track tonight. So, yeah, we'll just keep plugging away and hopefully we're there in the end.
Keep on enjoying yourself. Well done, guys.
Good on you, Graham. Now we move to heat number 16, and Grant will give us starters and riders. With after this race, there'll be 4 races to go before the finals, and I can tell you now, it's still up for grabs.
Yep, we'll do a run through of unofficial points, Con, at the end of this heat. So we'll give everyone a pretty good idea of what they've got to do in their last set of heats. We've got quite a few really hot to trot at the moment, as we've seen Darren Trelaw, Mark Pitt, Max House, who's just won that one, as we go through the usual gardening ritual. And the Sidecars Heat 16, brought to you by Midland Hiab and Haulage on our screen. So it's Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright. They'll be red out of 1. Shane Hudson and Adam Constable, they are hot to trot. They're blue out of 2. Rick Stevens and Nick O'Brien, South Australia. They only just snagged into the program last night.
And Fowler.
And then Fowler and Mordaunt.
Up goes the tapes and the red helmeted rider jumps out of the gate very quick. Jake Trelaw Oh, he's keeping it all in the family here at the moment as he battle for position. They slip, slide, dip and dive as into the top turn they go, but it's the blue helmeted rider of Hudson and Constable. New South Welshman down the main straight, back in second place and going well is the white men, and that's Stevens. He's doing a pretty good job now. The red helmeted rider of Hudson slips through up into second place. Wow, what a race from here as they come out of turn number 4. Young blue helmeted rider doing it well as Hudson and Constable. Trelaw working hard back there and doing it pretty tough at the moment in the red helmet, but the yellow flag comes out. 1 lap left to go here at Pinjar. Down the main straight, we see plenty of action here at Pinjar Speedway. Then the white helmet rider doing a pretty good job, but that's Stevenson and O'Brien with Fowler bringing up rear. But the yellow flag will go out, indicating to the team 1 lap to go. Hudson and Constable back to the red helmeted rider of Trelaw and Wright. And is across the line, a very good line and a very good race. And it goes so quick, and a 65.65, a 65.154. And I'm sure that Graham's going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this one. But Grant will give us the official time as we go over to Grant.
Yep, 65.154. 65.154, you called it correctly, Con. As we go to the pits, I don't know if Graham's going to be able to track the Constable team down. I think he has.
Yes.
He's got young Adam and tall Shane.
Yes, I'm with the boys now. Another wonderful ride. Shane, Adam says this bike you're riding is a brand new one, and it's your favourite bike. You haven't ridden here before.
No, it's not brand new. It's the one we rode last season, but we sent a bike over at the beginning of the season and it all got chopped up or whatever. But yeah, I just want to say shout out to Phil Rowan. I know he's watching tonight. And yeah, cheers, Phil.
Well, winners are grin, as you can say, whenever you like.
And emotional.
We just got to keep the ball rolling, eh?
And Adam, you must be thrilled with the performance you're putting on tonight.
Oh, look, mate, this is a tough game. You know, everybody out there is hungry, you know, and we're just hungry tonight. We want this bad.
Now, this is the business end of it. You're getting close to the finals. You're happy and confident where you are?
Yeah, one more solid ride. I think we've got a pretty good chance in the next heat, and if we can go in with another win into that one, I tell you what, if you've got to spare $10, you should put it on us. Well done.
Naughty boy.
Well, if you got $10. Yep, just for those of you who spent $10 tonight because you bought a raffle ticket in the raffle to win one of these riders' breastplates. So signed by all the riders in the Australian Championship. We're going to draw that raffle just before the B main. So I'm just going to go through and add some of the points up and give you an unofficial total before we get into this last round.
And Grant, you're doing a degree in writing at the University
Not
of
a degree in maths.
No, it's okay. I'm just keeping you honest.
Yeah, well, it's a very difficult assignment, Tom, as many would know. So yeah, we'll go through and I'll put these points together for you. They'll be unofficial. They'll give us a pretty good idea and a pretty good way of describing who's likely to make that top 7. That's where you've got to be.
Absolutely.
16 riders and only 7 are going to progress to the finals. Top 3 automatically to the final. Next 4 to that B main, if you like, or B final, semi-final. You've got to win it to get into the final.
Absolutely.
Tough assignments, and as we've seen tonight, not a lot of elbow room out there, is there?
None at all, actually. Well, so a good crowd here. We thank you very much indeed for your wonderful support here on Easter Sunday night. Please, when you drive home from the venue tonight, drive with care. We know that there's been some horrific accidents around the country. I don't call them accidents, actually I call them crashes. Some through high speed, some through negligence. So please don't become a statistic and drive to survive. If you want to know what's happening in the next couple of weeks, on the 22nd of April at the Perth Motorplex on Kwinana Beach, we're going to be crowning the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Driver of the Year. The winner will earn an additional $22,000 to his $5,000 first prize. So it'll be a pretty good night for him if he wins it. So that's going to be on the 22nd of April, grand final night. So now we're going back to the super screen and we'll try earn a little bit of money.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA.
Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Grant's Car Stereo Morley, proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years, selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate, from a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley, or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
Russell Mitchell, can you talk us through rear tyres on sidecars? I understand they're the same as a solo tyre.
Yeah, that's correct, Graham. Without doubt, the biggest consumable with racing one of these beasts. The only difference with the solo, we run a wider rear rim, and we have to put some rubber in them generally, or screw the tyre to stop them spinning on the rim. We also have to maintain a higher pressure in them to keep them on the rim. The advantage of, we also run, this is a new one, we also run quick change sprocket carriers which go in that side, and then you can just quickly pull them out, swap them over and put them in again there like that. So that's how quick you can change to get your fresh edge or turn your edges. As you'll notice on this one's worn on both sides, so through the night you can spin it. And yeah, the most consumable part of the bike, unless you're the most expensive part, unless you blow up an engine.
Thanks, David.
Well, I'd like to congratulate David Cheshire again, our pit marshal tonight, doing an excellent job. It's very difficult to marshal riders, particularly an Australian title. He's doing another superb job, and David, when he won a state title when he was riding for me back at the old Claremont days, he was only 16. I think he might have actually been 15, but he said he was 16, so he got his age up. And yeah, his dad couldn't write, see, so he put 16. He didn't know really how old he was. But anyway, he won a state title, and memorable days. In fact, just recently on our radio show, we did a live broadcast at the Inglewood Hotel, and David mentioned that the fun that he had back in those days. So the track has become manicured. We've got the final 4 heats to come your way, and Grant is about to give you the unofficial points to date.
Yep, you're a mind reader, Con, amongst your many skills. So these are the unofficial points. So Mick Headland, Troy Davies on 4, Max House, Riley Commons on 8, Warren Monson, Andrew Summerhays on 11, Tyler Moon, Adam Lovell on 5. Darren Nash, Ash Shield on 6. Mark Playstead, Ben Pitt, they are the defending champions. They're on 8. Jack Summerling and Nathan McFadden on 7. Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox, they're on 9. Brodie Cohen, Jesse Headland on 8. Damien Niche and Mitchell Spear, they were the team involved in that very difficult incident in turn 1 a few races back, Con. I think Damien is being taken to hospital. I know that when we spoke to Davey Cheshire in the pits, they were loading his gear up to help them with that. So he is yet to open his account and obviously won't be opening it. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, they're on 11. Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright on 9. Byron Gates, Mick O'Loughlin. They've missed their last couple of starts. I'm presuming engine problems for them. They're only on 2. Josh Wells yet to open their account. Rick Stevens, Nick O'Brien on 5. Shane Rodloff, Scott Morris had engine problems early in the night. They withdrew. And then we go down to our reserves, Jeff Bishop on 1 and Stephen Fowler yet to open his account. So I reckon you need to have, at this point, you need to be around about that 7 or 8 points mark to get into the top 7.
Yeah, so I just on the front row screens, I just heard that Lenny Bowes, former national champion from South Australia, and Phil McCurt from New South Wales, both watching it on front row screens, and we welcome those two great speedway exponents to Western Australia, although it be via the wonderful medium of television.
The internet, front row screens. Welcome aboard, Len, welcome aboard, Phil. Con and I are lucky enough to have seen you win Australian titles going back a little way, but we were lucky enough to see them.
I tell everyone I'm 29, Graham. You're blowing it, mate.
No.
Right.
I wish that'd be something else, wouldn't it?
Righto, so here's Peter Roebuck's here with his camera, ace photographer. He's been photographing Speedway, would you believe, for 61 years.
I believe that.
Unbelievable, Peter.
And he's got some marvellous photographs over the years. The technology has changed. Peter hasn't. He's brilliant with it all.
Do you ever get him to tell you a joke, but?
I'm still waiting for the punchline, the last one he attempted.
Summerling and McFadden moving in. Grant will give you starters and riders.
I think we're going to be minus a rider in this one. Because here we go. Summerling, McFadden, red out of 1. Nash and Shield, blue out of 2. Stevens and O'Brien, where have they gone missing at Gates and O'Loughlin? Fowler is in this one. So Summerling, Nash
and Gates is out.
Yep.
Right, up goes the red lights and the green lights, I should say. The flags jump to the air as the blue helmeted rider quickly into the lead. That is Darren Nash. But look at the red helmeted rider overtakes the leader. No, Nash's bike is ground to a screaming heap. Doesn't want to go, so Summerling out in front, back in second place. You couldn't believe what's happened to Darren Nash with the mechanical monster as the Fowler, the black helmet rider who was a reserve, getting a whole lot of mud sprayed in his face with the red helmeted rider, Summerling and McFadden out in front. Now we see Nash get the bike wound up, but he is to no avail. Graham Heddington grabs the yellow flag. 1 lap to go here at Pinjarra in Western Australia. And then in second place is the Flying Nash and Shield combination. Then we find Fowler. But young Summerling and McFadden, they have thrown the bike sideways, move out of turn number 4, across the line, a checkered flag. Then back in second place, Nash and Shield. And Fowler just drifts across the line in third place. And the time, wow, the fastest time of the night. And Grant is about to tell you what's happened.
Oh, boy. Oh, they did not dial that sundial into the ground, did they? That is an absolutely sensational time. If that is accurate, and I'm not going to dispute that, that is the fastest sidecar time recorded here at Pinjarra Park.
Oh, wow.
Jack Summerling. 61.784. 61.784. That is the record.
I haven't had so much fun since my nana got them caught in a ringer. I better say what they were. But here is even Graham Sindon smiling and laughing, and mate, he's just done a 61.784. Graham.
Well, I was out talking about the presentation, all right. I'm in front of you guys. Don't worry about that. Guys, what a wonderful race, an exhibition of speedway racing that was. Congratulations, very well done.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, we're trying hard all night. We're just trying to adapt to the track. We haven't ridden here before, so yeah, no, we're giving it our best shot, having a ball, and yeah, getting the job done.
Well, you had plenty of hooch in the bike on that occasion. It was just sensational.
Yeah, mate, we're getting there, the bike set up now. We're feeling good on the bike. We're going forwards, we're winning, so just keep plugging away.
Right, best wishes. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, Graham. Now, what would father and son be doing here as they clash in heat number 18 of the 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship?
Do you think they pit together? You think Darren and Jake actually pit next to each other and work out tactics?
Will they talk?
You're on your own, son.
That's right,
You're on your own.
Don't ask me.
You're here in Western Australia. You're on your own.
Mother.
Yeah. Mrs. Trelaw. Yeah, what advice can she give? Yeah. So this is a beauty. It's one I'm sure that they've faced each other before. This is Jake Trelaw, Eli Wright. They'll be read out of 1. We'll get the graphics up in just a moment. And Darren, 10 times Aussie champ with passenger Blake Cox. They'll be white out of 3. But just getting ready for this Midland High Urban Haulage Heat 18. Trelaw and Wright. That's the young Trelaw. Trelaw and Wright. Red out of 1, Playstead and Pitt. Oh, what an event. Playstead and Pitt blew out of 2.
Heavyweight boxing title.
Oh, Trelaw and Cox, white out of 3. Moon and Lovell, yellow out of 4. This is a heavyweight boxing title. You are absolutely
the
right.
hearts are thumping and the adrenaline's are pumping. Up goes the Capes and away we fly as the young man gets out in front very quickly in the red helmeted ride as he thunders into the top turn. Wow, what about a roughhouse tactic there for the blue helmeted rider, Playstead and Pitt as they move out of turn number 4. The yellow helmeted rider goes to the infield. Trelaw second and third, but no respect being shown by Playstead and Pitt as they move down the back straight now. This Australian Sidecar title is going to a crescendo. Out of turn number 4. 2 laps left to go, and this young man out in Playstead and Pitt. Trelaw back second and third. They move down the back straight. Playstead's gone wide. Trelaw's a hunting. They come into the top turn now. The yellow flag's out. 1 lap left to go to Pinjar. Here comes the yellow fella. He thunders down the main straight, hits the wall, and he gets himself a little bit crossed up as the blue helmet rider of Playstead still out in front. But about 150 metres left to go. Out of turn number 4. Come on, Pinjar. Let's see it. What a long buster. Playstead, Darren Trelaw, and then Jake. Holy dooly, a 64.490. Oh, the thing that dreams are made of. Oh, the father and son clashing, and Playstead and Pitt, who showed absolutely no respect as Grant there hit the wall. That's how hard he was flying, wasn't he, Grant?
Well, you know, he had a point to prove there because there'd be something if you went back to the pits and you'd let Trelaw beat you. Yeah. I think there'd be a big psychological advantage. That was certainly a very rough event on many levels. Mark Playstead winning it in 64.49. And, well, Darren Trelaw, 64.90 at what's there, about half a second behind?
And he rode to survive. Did you notice that? He didn't do anything dumb because he had to get in the final. Graham, here we are, mate. This is the ride of the night.
Mark Playstead, what a ride of the night.
Yeah, well, the ride of the night's going to be the end. Hopefully we get to the final and let it all hang out, man.
Well, you've got 9. I think that gives you 12 points now, I think. So
yeah, obviously we'll try and get in the A, see what happens, and then, yeah, if not, we'll plan B and we'll go in the B. And, yeah, we'll see how we go, man.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Wow. The hearts are thumping big time here at the moment at Pinjar as 3 riders come to the start-finish line. In the hands of the starter, his Grant Woodhams to give you their official starting positions.
Yep, this is the heavy-duty end of the show, isn't it?
Yep.
Because this is where all of those points are being added up. So Niche and Spear, unfortunately, not starting. We've got the Wells brothers out there. We've got Headland and Davies, and then Hudson and Constable. So that is the lineup. 3 to go.
Out the tapes goes the yellow helmeted rider. Hudson goes across the line, but the white helmeted rider grabs the lead. Headland and Davies as they move down the back straight now. This is heat number 19 of the 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship. Down the main straight, 1 lap down and 3 to go. Yellow helmet back in second place of Hudson and Constable. They're all moving very well through the racetrack now. Constable and Hudson makes the lead, but the white helmeted rider and the Headland will not give up without a fight. Out of turn number 4, the halfway mark, 2 down and 2 to go. Wow, these boys are out there playing for keeps. Out in front, Headland and Davies. Again, those sideways all lock up that time. Just about came off the machine, but this allows Hudson to move through. And moving out of turn number 4, the yellow flag comes out. It's Headland and Constable out instead of Headland and Davies, who made a mistake, then bringing up the blue helmet, the Wild Wells boys from the Wild West. But down the back straight for the last time. Come on, Pinjar. This has been a very good piece of motor training. Sidecars across the line first, the yellow helmeted rider of Hudson and Constable. Then we find Headland and Davies, and the Wells boys, our own WA fellas, doing a great job, as Grant will give you the time and give you the official points as we move further towards the end of the qualifying.
A great time of 64.783 there for the winners, Shane Hudson and Adam Constable. They did it the hard way. They had to get past a very, very accomplished rider and former Australian champion and world champion Mick Headland with his passenger Troy Davies out of South Australia, but they managed to do it, Graham Sindon.
Boy, oh boy, you had to do it the hard way, but you did it. Mick Headland, tough customer.
Oh, yeah. Look, Shana's just riding out of his skin the last 2 nights, like, using his head. We just waited. He's got our chance. Took our move, you know, we've got a fast bike. Maybe you guys on the hill are fighting that $10, because we're on.
Cheers, mate.
Do we get commission? Well, out we come now, heat number 20. This is the final qualifying heat. Grant Woodhams, the all important starting positions.
Indeed, as we get the wonderful shot from our Sky camera up there. For those of you who might be enjoying our broadcast from home, wherever you are, the magnificent Pinjar Park circuit, only 5 years old, created back in 2018, and there you get an overhead shot of it. But as we go into this final heat, points are pretty tight. I'll try and add them up quickly after this one. It'll be totally unofficial, but try and give you an indication. As we come down to the line, you can see some gardening. We've got some guys in here who have, well, they've been at the top of their game tonight. So Max House, Warren Monson, Brody Cohen, Rick Stevens, they've all been good. Here's the screenshot. House and Commons red out of 1, Monson and Summerhay blue out of 2, Cohen and Headland white out of 3, and yellow out of 4 will be, well, Stevens, yep, Stevens and O'Brien.
In the hands of the starter. Up goes the tapes for the final qualifying heat, the Australian Sidecar Championship, the 2023 in the blue helmeted rider Monson and Summerhays grab the lead as they thunder down the back straight. They slip and slide, dip and dive. 8 men out there flying hard and fast into the main straight. 1 lap down and 3 to go. Back in second place, doing a pretty good job, the white helmeted rider of Stevens and O'Brien. But no doubt about this young man in front, House and Commons. They are wanting to really, as I should say, it is Monson and Summerhays was at the 2 laps down and 2 to go, wanting to win this race. Cohen and Headland doing a great job. They've all been very impressive all weekend as they move down the back straight. Graham gets the white flag to indicate 1 lap to go, and it is Monson and Summerhays back to Cohen doing a pretty good job there, and then we find Stevens, but there is no doubt about this man. He has made no room for mistakes. He was ruthless at the beginning, and the checkered flag goes to Monson and Summerhays. back to Cowan and Headland. Then we find House and Commons, and bringing up the rear is the unlucky Stevens and O'Brien. But man, oh man, that concludes the 20 qualifying heats. The time 64.558. Grant will be doing a bit of mathematical adding up, and we'll be having Graham do the interview with the winning rider, and then we'll give you the riders how they will line up in the finals. A very motivating night of sidecar speedway racing here at Pinjarra in Western Australia, the Golden West. Graham, here ready
well,
to talk to our winner.
Andrew, we'll have to stop meeting like this. It seems like every racing you're at, you're on the podium. Well done, a great night of racing.
Yeah, no, I like to meet it like this is great. No, that was great. We needed those points. Obviously, we're straight into the final now, so first pick, the way the numbers are working, I think. So, but it's not over yet. We're still, these guys are the best in the world, and we've been overseas to New Zealand and that, and we've got the best riders right here. So anything can happen, as long as we all come out at the end of it and we're all happy.
Well, I did manage to sneak a little interview with Warren earlier in the evening. It's a rare interview, I must say, but thanks for your time and sharing your thoughts about racing tonight, and well done for the final.
Yeah, cheers. Let's make it a good one. Woohoo!
You want to say, and there's a magnificent aerial shot of this magnificent circuit. In the infield, that little track, that's the junior track.
That is the junior track.
And at the back of this complex is the original Pinjarra Speedway, which has been operating a lot longer. It's about 180, 190 yards to a lap, similar to Costa Mesa in Los Angeles. The people my vintage would remember when the great Bruce Penhall, Bobby Schwartz, all those great American riders that we brought to Australia over the years, they honed their skills at Costa Mesa. Well, we're doing the same thing, and hopefully one day we'll produce a Bruce Penhall. Who knows? It's in the lap of the gods. We'll have an ad now, and we'll be back when Grant has done his mathematics.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA.
Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Well, I suppose a lot of you people in Western Australia...
Grant Car Stereo Morley, proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years, selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate, from a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley, or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
Russell Mitchell, these modern sidecars, they look very sleek and slick with the fairings on, but take the fairings off and it's a totally different animal.
Yeah, they've certainly come a long way, Graham. When I first started racing, your bikes you raced were pretty much road bike chassis with modified with probably a Kawasaki 1000 engine in it, or a water bottle engine squeezed in, and then a sidecar actually bolted on like you get a road bike sidecar. In the early 90s, and then I started to build one-piece chassis, and then I built a bike here that you're looking at that's similar to this, that everything seems to be copied from these days. In the early 90s, chrome molly with the right amount of flex in it, with everything coming out of a jig absolutely spot on, so you know everything's in the right spot. With these sidecars, unlike a car where you bolt an engine in and you hang all your wheels off, it doesn't have to be as precise as it has to be for one of these to be going really fast.
The chair tube itself seems to be an integral part of the chassis, and I guess very important.
Yeah, well that's correct. So we went from, it's quite funny, in New Zealand when Mitch went to New Zealand originally, there was a rule that you had to have it bolted on at certain amounts of bolts, so they were a bit grumpy because it was beating all their best bikes. That of course has changed. These are what you get worldwide now for a speedway sidecar.
And notice in the back of the chassis there you've got slides for the axle to go fore and aft for different wheel bases.
You're very important. It's one of the three major adjustments you make to one of these sidecars is the wheelbase, along with sidecar tow out and of course your gearing. Other than that, it's all about skill on the throttle control.
And the steering head itself must be fairly precise.
Absolutely, yeah, that's absolutely. And with the modern motors, they've got to be in exactly the right spot as well for weight distribution, and that comes hand in hand with the width of your rear hub or sprocket carrier.
Well, you know, it's Grant was not only the speaker in the House, he was also the weatherman on the ABC television here in West Australia for a long, long time. He also wrote a Speedway Digest for sedan racing when he was the president of the Geraldton Speedway. So he's had a very, very long association with the wild and wonderful sport of Speedway. And now he's going to prove that he is a mathematician. He's brought together the points. And here we go to you, Grant. Let's give us the starts and points now. To bring us so that we know what we're going to be doing in a few minutes. And then we'll go to Graham after.
Okay, so unofficially, the points 14 for Monson and Summerhays, 14 for Hudson and Constable. So they're into the A. Now, where the third rider will come from, it'll be between Playstead and Darren Trelaw, because they've both finished on 11. And then we dip down into Summerling on 10, Cohen on 10, and Jake Trelaw on 10. So that's the unofficial top 7, and the only two that I can tell you that shouldn't be challenged going into that A main would be Monson and Summerhays and Hudson and Constable, who both finished on 14 as we go to the pits, and Graham Sindon.
Well, you caught me napping there again. I'm here with Josh Wells, the WA entry in the Australian Sidecar Championship. You qualified last night, you got into the final, you achieved your goals to do just that. Tell us a little bit about how it went from there. I understand you got a gearbox problem.
Yeah, we're not too sure if it's a selector or what it is. Dwight, bless his souls, pulled the engine out and Pity helped him and they replaced the whole gearbox, and then we're going out there and we couldn't turn and we're wondering why, and then we come in for after a couple of heats and realised when I hit gear it's going straight to fourth, and it was only by virtue of the moisture coming through the track and it was slick that we could turn it in the last two heats. So it breaks the soul a little bit, you know, with all the hard work that these guys put in, and we're representing the state and sort of fell over a bit, but you know, taking up a spot. But yeah, that's racing.
Well, you're down in the mouth a bit now, but you shouldn't be. You qualified for the Australian Sidecar Championship. That's a good effort from a WA team.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to remember what the goal was to achieve. So yeah, overall we'll have a couple of beers and we'll be happy. And I'd just like to give a shout out to Thwaites and the Thwaites family in Invercargill. They're going through a tough time with the coma and everything. He's recovering, so thoughts are still with you and the family, mate.
Well done. Best wishes for next season.
Yep. Thanks, Graham. Cheers, guys.
Okay, we're back in the commentary booth, and I've got Con Migro to draw the 2 tickets out for the raffle. No,
oh, gee.
Not unless you change the spelling of your name. So here are the 2 tickets that we've drawn out tonight for the raffle of the Riders' Bibs, signed by the riders in the Australian Sidecar Championship for 2023. Blue ticket A86. I know this name. John Gall.
Oh my God.
Legless. Blue 86. Bring it up, Johnny.
John Gall.
Yep, John Gall. John Gall.
You're living in Karratha now.
And here we go, the second one. It's red A35. There's a telephone number, which we hope we don't have to call, because we've got Zach Bradley. Zach Bradley, red 85.
Well,
bring it around.
Well, the milking bars are on you, Johnny.
Red A35, Zach Bradley. So we can keep your bib up here, John. You might wear it home.
Yeah. Well.
And Zach Bradley, if you want to meet Kelly Fuster just outside the Combox hut, we can do the honours from there.
Right on now, Grant. Let's see if we've got the official points now.
Well,
so you can probably tell us who goes in the B.
I'm going to try
and
get those from Angus, because he did come in at one point, so we need to go back and chase him out to get those official points.
Here comes Angus now. He's
a
Chief
good
Steward.
man. He's a good man.
He's from Motorcycling Australia. He is the referee for tonight.
Yep.
And Chief Steward.
Fantastic. So this is the B. So let's have a look at the B. Okay, so the B will be Mark Playstead. Yep. Jack Summerling. This is the B we're reading out. Jack Summerling, Jake Trelaw, and Brodie Cohen. That is the B. The 3 we've taken into the A are Warren Monson. So we don't know their starting positions yet, do we?
No, they'll make their picks out on the track.
Yep. So Warren Monson, Shane Hudson, and Darren Trelaw. Yep.
Righto, Graham's
there we've got
an interview first.
Thank you,
and then
Angus.
We'll come back to you, Grant. Thank you, Graham. Go.
Well, I'm here with Darren Nash. We've just heard the points called out for the B final. You must have just missed out there by a point or 2, but you've done WA proud. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much. Obviously, would have been nice to make the B main anyway and be able to get through. We're not going to get the fairy tale finish that we sort of hoped for to wrap up our speedway career, but big thanks to Ash and Tony, the bikes, and all the pit crew and our sponsors, S&M Freight and Shields Engineering, and all the guys that have helped us along the way. Steve Sutherland, he loaned us an engine. He's got a really big heart, so I want to thank him. And we've got to the end, and look, we haven't had to eat any more hospital food, so that's great. The whole team, my family, thanks very much.
Good on you, Darren.
Now, when you say you're retired, you've told me that 2 or 3 occasions.
Yep.
Will we see you on special events?
Oh, look, it's a possibility. At this stage, Tony's built 2 great bikes, so we'd like to put a younger guy on there. Like I'm getting to the end now where I'm happy to go road racing and enjoy being a granddad this year twice. And then hopefully we can coach some younger guys and I can help push them along, maybe with Tony's help. So we'll still be here in some form. So I'd love to get up here and do like some of the other teams have done, get some young guys, push them, maybe get them on the East Coast with a bit of luck and some sponsorship. And I mean, these bikes are fantastic. What a blast I've had, in the last few years, entertaining the crowd. Some of the races we've had just been unbelievable.
Well, look, thanks very much for the contribution you've made to Speedway. 3 times WA champion. I think you finished 3rd on 2 occasions in Australian titles. You're the defending F1 road racing champions. I mean, you are a champion, absolutely.
Thanks very much, Graham. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and playing this game. Like, look where we're standing. This is just incredible.
Ash, can we just get you in the shot here? You've had a remarkable run with Darren. You must be really thrilled to be on board with him.
Mate, I wouldn't jump on with anyone else. It's been an absolute pleasure.
We both, decided we'll make the call. But we'll come down and help some people out. Hopefully we get a young guy on here and we can do some coaching days with him and, get him up the Pawnian.
Well, you've both thrilled WA fans over here for several seasons. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you both race, and best wishes for the future.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, bud. Thanks for your time, guys.
Yeah, congratulations to Darren Nash and Ash Shield. They go out as the Western Australian champions, certainly heroes of the sport. Just want to do a little bit of homework, which is necessary. Just want to thank some people as we get towards the end of the night, and do urge you to stay around for presentations, which we'll be doing trackside immediately after the final. So just want to thank the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries. Make smoking history from Healthways. Thanks to them for their support and sponsorship. Lotteries West, the RCA Civil Group, who've just done so much work in putting this track together for us over these 2 nights, and it's just been absolutely superb. And then Motorcycling Australia, the parent body, the sanctioning group, who've really come to the party and done the right thing by us. Now, I just want to do the right thing as we head into the B and A final, and thank also Classic Hire and Benco for their enormous support of putting this meeting together, because their financial undertaking has been without question, and it's been superb. We'd just like to thank you entirely. We'd like to thank you sincerely, as they are also sponsors of the B final and A final. Classic Hire and Benco, with a couple of old pals, good to see, as we head towards the concluding stages of the Benco 2023 Australian Sidecar Championship here at Pinjar Park. Just 2 races to go, Con Migro.
Yes, it is. And the Man of Steel's here tonight, Neil Matchin from Sheffield.
Yeah.
And also the great Glenn Doyle.
Yep.
By gee, I remember young Glenn rode for me and he won Australian titles. He was a very undersung rider, really, when you look at his contributions. A wonderful, wonderful speedway rider. Looks still $1 million. And, of course, the Man of Steel now lives 6 months in Australia and 6 months in England. And
I just call him the Blade.
The Blade, do you?
The Blade.
He's a pretty sharp man, isn't he?
Sheffield Steel. Yep.
But anyway, welcome, boys, and we're glad to do it. So 2 heats to go. So don't you dare leave the venue, as Matt will now pay a few bills, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA.
Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Grant's Car Stereo Morley. Proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years. Selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate. From a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley. Or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
Well, Jeff Garnham, who is one of the Start Track officials with us tonight, voluntarily came over from Tamworth Speedway in northern New South Wales. Good evening, welcome, great to see you, Jeff. But the important part about Jeff Garnham is that, well, he thinks he's got an easy job tonight. He's going to have an easier one next year, because the Australian Sidecar Championship will be held at Tamworth Speedway. I think it's on the first weekend in April. That might be the Easter weekend. But Jeff, all the best with that, because it's going to be a huge weekend of Speedway, as these Australian Championships always are. And isn't it marvellous, Con Migro, that you get people like Jeff Garnham who come to the West off their own bat, off their own, you know, they've paid to come over here, and he's volunteered to help, and he's a professional guy, is on the start line, helping out.
Very
well
good.
Done.
Yes,
Aussie title, Tamworth, next year.
I thought for a moment you were going to tell me that you and I were going to go and sing it for our supper.
That's right.
But
Country Music Festival.
Yet to be found. But anyway, the riders now into the B main. Grant will give them to you. But put your hands together behind the John Day, or on the John Day ute, is the riders that will be coming out for the selection of their positions. Now there they are. 8 riders and 8 passengers, 16 brave men. Come on, Pinjar, put your hands together, because they are the people that you have paid so far to motortone you. One of these combinations, and only one, will go into the A final. So the Chief Steward is now, Angus is now telling them the rules and regulations of what he expects from them. And then Grant, once they draw their positions, Grant will tell you where they'll be starting at the B final. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah, so what they have the opportunity to do, Con, as Angus Brigadier speaks to them, is that in order they will select their gate.
Yep.
So I'm presuming, because Plaisted and Pitt finished top point scorers in the B, in the they finished in 4th place. They will have a selection of gate. Then it will go back down through. So it'll be probably Plaisted first pick, Summerling second pick, Jake Draw third pick, and Brodie Cohen 4th pick. That's the way I interpret it. Angus speaking to them. Also Steve McQueen now talking to Mark Plaisted and Ben Pitt. So it's a,
is that because they've been naughty boys? Or?
Oh, it's bound to have been. There's probably some misdemeanor in the pits, stole all the minties.
Yeah.
But it's a tradition which has come about. Now, you would have seen quite a few Australian sidecar titles in your day.
Yes.
I've got to confess, the first one I saw was in 1963. So quite a different scenario 60 years ago to what we have tonight. So there's... Plaisted and Pitt.
Well, talking about that, Grant, excuse me, they are rocket machines now. In those days, they were big, clumsy bikes. They'd go around Claremont at about 1:13, 1:15. Towards the end, when Russell Mitchell bought his sidecars, they were going around in 3 laps around Claremont in less than 60 seconds. That was unbelievable. In fact, they would become faster than solo motorcycles, and everyone was saying that's unheard of. I think the first Neela we saw was ridden by Tom McQuaid, the late Tom McQuaid, yes. But then Russell refined these bikes, and there's a lot of great riders at the time. There was Mark Drew, there was the Joyce brothers, Ed Blakeney, Darren Nash, Dennis Nash. I mean, we had the cream of the nation sitting here on our doorstep, and wow, did we bring them on, and did we have some fabulous speedway.
And one of the things a lot of us do remember, Con, are the handicap races.
Yes.
Where you'd start 7 bikes in an event, 7 sidecars, 8
sidecars, 8 sidecars, 6 in a scratch race. And Dennis Nash would come off 120, 140. But the late, great Jimmy Davies, we handicapped him 240 yards.
Is that right?
Back in the days of Orb Lawson and that.
Okay.
And, man, to see him go around, he had an 880 Jap, big, clumsy-looking bike. we thought at the time they were magnificent, which they were, but wow, when you see what these guys are riding today, I'm not saying they have easy rides because nothing's easy in Speedway, but these are rocket ships compared to what they were riding back in 1963 when Grant saw his first event. And there they are. There's number one. So
Plaisted and Pitt. They've
picked that, right?
One. Yep. So Mark Plaisted, Ben Pitt, going to go out of gate 1.
Yep.
This is in the B. It's the defending Australian champions. Mark Plaisted, Ben Pitt, going to go back to the pits and prepare their bike.
Young Trelaw looking there.
So they're having a look now. So this is Cohen.
Cohen, yes.
Cohen and Headland. They've taken 2. So they're starting out at 2.
They're in blue.
Yep. So this is Jack Summerling. He's taken gate 3. So that will give Jake Trelaw and Eli Wright gate 4. Well done, Jake. Thank you very much.
So Trelaw will be off the yellow.
Yep, he'll be in yellow. Plaisted will be red. Cohen will be blue. Cohen will be yellow, and Trelaw will be yellow, and then
Summerling
will be the white. Correct. There we go. So they've got a few minutes to get around to the other side there.
Right, so there, come on, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, next year the Australian Sidecar Championship will be in New South Wales. Grant and Con will be taking their guitars.
We are.
And we're going to sing a few songs. But
we'll be good.
You can tell us where it's going to be, Grant.
In Tamworth, in the New England of New South Wales.
Correct.
Fabulous part of the world if you don't go there in winter.
Beautiful place. I've been
lovely.
there many a time in my Speedway life. A beautiful part of Australia when it doesn't rain and flood, a place like that. But no, it's a pretty good place there. It's very safe.
And it is the home, as you've been alluding to, of country music. So if you like country music, it's usually towards the end of January.
Yep.
So go over there for that, and then stay for a couple of months for the Aussie Sidecar title beginning of April.
Yep.
So well done, fellas. So just to repeat that, Mark Plaisted and Ben Pitt, defending Australian champions, will go out of position number 1. They'll be wearing the red helmet in this semi-final. They have to win it to get into the A final and defend their title.
So this event now coming up your way, there is only one winner. The other 3 are OUT.
Yep.
One man or one combination only will then go through to the A final. They'll be given a little bit of time to reset their bike, change their crash hats, their leathers, whatever they want they change, and then they'll come out in the A final. We are not far away crowning the national champion for 2023, and looking the way that one man who has won 10 before, no names, no pack drill, he is going to be one hell of a rider to town down in this title. So here the riders now getting their help from their pit crews now. A very tense moment, believe you me.
Oh yeah.
Talk about the hearts are thumping, the adrenaline's are pumping now.
Got to give it the final shot because, as you say, there's only going to be one go through in this one, and the start, oh so critical.
Yes, so Plaisted on red, Summerling on white, Trelaw in yellow, and Cohen in blue.
So one of them will be hoping to go through to the A final and join Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays, Shane Hudson and his passenger Adam Constable, and Darren Trelaw and his passenger Blake Cox. They're through to the A final. Those 3 I've just mentioned, Monson, Hudson and Darren Trelaw, they're already in the A. I presume, Con, that we will have somewhat of a repetition of what we've just seen. They'll come out here and pick their starting gate. But I think that that will be between Hudson and Monson, because they've both finished on the same amount of points. They both finished at 14 qualifying points.
Yeah, so the 2-minute warning has just gone off, so the riders have got 2 minutes to get to the start-finish line. And, well, no legs. John Nagul, the photographer, has won The
no legs, yeah.
And he has done one hell of a great job.
Oh, he has.
And see, I spoke to him at the beginning. I haven't seen him for a long time. He said to me today he's living up in Karratha now, looking after the caravan park up. Then he's a house painter by trade and also doing a bit of painting on the side.
Well, and probably some photography at Karratha International Speedway.
Absolutely, as you do. So here's the riders. 4 riders in the B main, or the B final, whichever way you want to put it.
So they've had a pretty good look, but they're still going to come out and perhaps do some gardening. So what Ben Pitt is in the process of doing at the moment, he's going to direct Mark Plaisted to exactly where he wants him to start. You've got, it's a fairly wide gate, Con. You can see the gap between the riders, and they're going to try and pick the best part of that gate that they can ride out of.
Yep, so you imagine what young Trelaw's thinking. Will I get in the final with Dad? And will he ever talk to me again if I win?
Yeah,
my goodness gracious.
He's got a hard assignment from Gate 4 on the outside. Not impossible.
I knew his grandfather very well because he was a pretty good sidecar racer as well.
Was that Gary?
Yes, Gary, yes.
Yep.
Around the Sydney Showground in the old days. Right,
here we go, Con.
Now.
Here we go.
The B main.
Plaisted, Pitt, Cohen, Headland, Summerling, McFadden, Treloar right.
Up goes the tapes, a beautiful start that time, and it's Plaisted straight away into the lead now as he goes out of turn number 2. Thunders down the back straight, and it's Plaisted out in front doing a pretty good job with Ben Pitt. They move out of turn number 4 and move down the main straight. 1 lap down and 3 to go. Bringing up the rear is Cohen. Oh, he'd be disappointed with that. He's ridden so well all week, but here we are once again. 2 lonely laps to go for Pitt and Plaisted. Out of turn number 4, 2 laps down and 2 to go. Then the white helmeted rider going along quite well as Summerling, but there's no doubt about this man. He's got his heart set on getting into the A final, and he is looking very, very sharp. Out of turn number 4, the white flag comes out. 1 lap left to go here at Pinjar Speedway. The Chief Stewart sitting right on my vision as we move down the back straight for the last time. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands for Mark Plaisted and Brad Pitt. They are through to the A final. Back in second place is the white rider of Summerling and McFadden. Bringing up the rear is the blue of Cohen and Jesse Headland. And then Treloar and Ellie Wright were in 3rd place. But Plaisted and Pitt have made the all-important final here tonight, and now it is down well and truly to the business end of this program.
63.77.
63.77, so that's very good, and no doubt now Graham Sinden is with the winning rider, and no doubt he'll get some wise words to see how he feels about winning the Benco Australian Sidecar B final, and then we'll come back when Grant will give us the field for the grand final, the A final, brought to you by Benco. Thanks, Graham.
I haven't got Mark Plaisted, I should say. They've gone straight back to their pit box, and rightly so. They'll get their bike prepared for the final. Be a couple of disappointed guys here, but we might be able to get to them in a moment.
Right,
but
mate.
What
Thanks,
a final.
It was a great. Now we're getting to the A final here tonight. So, wow.
Yep, we'll bring the riders out. So we're going to bring Warren Monson, Andrew Summerhays out, Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, and Darren Treloar and Blake Cox.
See that guy there with that on the screen? That's Warwick Lang. Warwick Lang with Kingy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, an old racer from way back when Adam was a Lance Corp in the Boy Scouts.
Welcome aboard, Langy. Great to see you here. And we've just got a replay courtesy of Grant's car stereo of that. Well, Pitt just got out of, not Pitt, Plaisted, Pitt just got out of gate 1, the red, superbly.
The track
and,
looks great.
Were never headed, never challenged, were they? And they're riding it well, but they've got the big assignment ahead of them now. They're up against Warren Monson, they're up against Shane Hudson and Darren Treloar. And I've no doubt that they'll get gate 4. I don't think there'll be any choice in that. We'll just see how we go.
Right, so the riders will come out on a John Day ute. Then they'll got the ladies that have been doing a great job all night. Put your hands together for our pit line ladies. Don't forget the Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship will be in New South Wales next year in a beautiful part of Australia, Tamworth. And there's a lot to see around there. And of course you can see where Keith Urban, Troy Cassar-Daly, all those great guys of Graham Cotter, all those people that have made their name in the world of music, and particularly the old days used to be called hillbilly music. Then it was called country and western music, and now it's just called country.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I like both sorts of music, country and western.
Yeah, absolutely. It was that song. If you don't like country, well, you can kiss my... Yeah. Well, righto, so here they are, come around. Oh, look at these guys. They are smiles, grin to grin, ear to ear. Oh, Darren Treloar looking very relaxed behind in the John Day Ute with his sidecar passenger. They have done a wonderful job. And, of course, his sidecar passenger is a young man, Blake Cox, who has swung with him for the last couple of years, and they've won a couple of national crowns. Darren Treloar, another fine rider. As I say, he goes
10 times Aussie champ.
10 times Australian champion, yeah. There they are on the racetrack now. So Grant is going to write down where they'll be starting in the final. So as they come around, ladies and gentlemen, these are the men that you've paid to motortain you throughout the last 2 or 3 weeks, particularly last night and tonight. We thank you for your tremendous response tonight. It's been a wonderful crowd. It is a wonderful crowd.
Very engaged, very enthused, and very supportive. It's like we like to see.
Don't tell me this hasn't sent out the right sort of messages to the people that when you want good racing, you bring the best. And of course, we did that with the Robbie Wolfernan race this year.
Yes.
And now we've brought it to you with the sidecar.
Exercise. Yep. So they'll go through the same situation as they went through with the selection of starting gates. So I presume it's Monson and Summerhays.
Are they the highest point scorers?
Well, they were equal with Hudson and Constable. So we'll just see how it works. They should know it chapter and verse.
Yes.
And whichever gate is left, that'll be Mark Playsted's. He has no choice in this, even though he's the defending champion. He got through, we won't say on the last gasp, but he had to come through the B main, but he's made it, he'll be out there. Treloar and Cox just taking a look at 3 and 4, having a look at both. Andrew Summerhays, Warren Monson taking a look at gate 1. They don't seem to have moved from there, so you might suspect that's where they're going to go from. The big man with a big plan, Shane Hudson, he's there with those Aussie long trousers, body covers. He's having a look at 2 now, Summerhays and his rider, Warren Monson. I think they've walked away from 3 and 4. They think they're going to be interested in perhaps 1 or 2. We'll have a look. They spent a lot more time at 1. So Hudson having a look at 1, and looks like we'll just see what Warren Monson's going to do. He's just maybe he's.
So Warren's got first choice?
Well, not yet. He hasn't picked the gate number up and held it up for us. So I'm suspecting he's got first choice though. So Jeff Garnham just having a word with the boys on the line. Has done all night. It's been superb, and a lot of these fellas know each other really well from racing so consistently with each other on the East Coast. They know all of their foibles, if you like, their strengths, their weaknesses, and they've gone for 1. That's the Monson Summerhays team.
Yes.
They'll be going out of gate 1 in red.
2.
So 2 is Hudson and Constable. I guess, but we'll wait and have a look at Darren Treloar does. It's going to keep us waiting here a little bit. 3 and 4, the remaining gates. Darren having a word to Blake Cox, just seeing what is possible out of 3, and How you read that, I have no idea. Blake Cox, I don't know if he's found something there. So
and one of his gold.
Could be digging for gold here. It could be a while, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just having a good look at that track. It's nice and hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's been a beautiful track tonight. It's been very responsive. It's produced some sensational racing, which is what we want. Darren Treloar has gone for 3.
There's no doubt about you, Grant. You picked it in a 1.
Well, you know, I've just got to keep on buying those lotto tickets, Con.
Well, I better buy one with you.
Good. Yes, buy
there,
one with me.
Darren Treloar has taken the white, and he's from position 3.
Yep, it's
Warren Monson and Summer Hayes from 1 in the red.
Yep, Hudson and Constable blue 2, Treloar and Cox white 3, which leaves Playstead and Pitt yellow 4.
Right, so the rider's been told to go back to the pits now, and this time they'll be joined by Playstead and Pitt, naturally getting their bikes prepped for, they've just run the B main, or the B final, and we come to the A final. There's only one final, really.
This is it.
This is it.
Yep. So, Brig Girls depart the scene temporarily.
So as they go back to the pits once more on the John Day Ute, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. They have done some, no legs, don't forget I want to have that trophy on my mantelpiece at least for half the year.
Monson and Summer Hayes, Hudson and Constable, Treloar and Cox, Playstead and Pitt. So we've got Warren Monson out of Victoria, Shane Hudson out of New South Wales, Darren Treloar out of New South Wales, and Mark Playstead out of South Australia. So a good battle of the interstaters for the Aussie title this year at Pinjar Park. It's been marvellous, absolutely marvellous, having the best sidecar riders in the world provide sensational racing and competition over these last 2 nights. And here we are, the culmination. So we'll be doing presentations immediately afterwards on the infield. So if you'd like to stay with us, we'll be doing that as we prepare for this, the Australian Sidecar title, the Benco Australian Sidecar Championships of 2023.
Righto, they're going back to the pits now. It'll be a couple of seconds before they get out again. And then we will get into the position where you're about to crown a National Sidecar Speedway champion. So we certainly hope you've got yourself into a good position and your voices are in top condition, because you're going to need to do it. We're going to have a lot of support. Well, in the meantime, we'll get Matt to earn a few dollars for us, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA.
Midland High Urban Haulage is a family-owned and operated company. They operate a fleet of prime movers and extendable trailers fitted with remote control cranes capable of moving 20-metre loads up to 22 tonnes. With their vast experience and competitive rates, Midland High Urban Haulage are the team you can trust to move your freight to a 1,000-kilometre radius from Perth. Phone Pete on 0407 294 248 to discuss your needs. RCA Civil Group have gained a sound reputation for providing quality civil projects throughout Western Australia. Their scope of work includes road shoulder construction and stabilisation, drainage, concreting and asphalting, plus bulk and detailed earthworks. RCA Civil Group, Western Australia's leading civil contractor. Contact RCA Civil Group on 1300 1 Civil.
Krantz Car Stereo Morley, proudly supplying and fitting quality car stereos for over 15 years, selling top-name brands like Alpine, Focal, Rockford Fosgate, from a simple upgrade to complete custom systems. Stop in and see Grant and the boys at 61 Russell Street, Morley, or visit us online at carstereo.com.au.
Russell, I've got the passenger's office in shot, an area of about 30 by 40 centimetres. There's a grab rail there for him to hang on to, and he never lets go of that one. And then down here along the side of the bike, another grab rail that he grabs hold of when he goes over the side of the bike. Just tell me the importance of a good sidecar passenger and what he does for a rider.
Very, very important, integral part of the whole operation and the whole dance, I suppose. It's all about weight distribution and moving that around. So it's a team sport. You've got to work together as a team, and it's about being working as one, moving in unison, and and someone to blame if it doesn't all turn out right. Bloody passenger's fault.
And is a sidecar passenger ideally light or heavy? How does all that work out? How do you choose and select a passenger?
It's all down to the personal, to the rider. Myself, I'm rather large. I've always had a smaller passenger. And then you've got guys that are running bigger passengers, running a lot longer wheelbase and having a lot of success with the heavier passengers, you know. I think the modern engines, they can cope with more weight. They've got lots more mumbo than back in the day. And then a really good heavier passenger can utilise that to make the whole bike go a lot faster.
I'm in the pits here with Peter Muller. He's not a sidecar star, but he is a star of Western Australian Speedway. Peter Muller, you were largely responsible for getting this track developed and up and running all those years ago. Well done. I understand you're going to be retiring after this meeting.
That's right, Graham, yes. Bruce Russell and I were 1 and 2, and against my wife's best wishes, I've been here now for some 17 years or 16 years. This track, it's been a 7-year project for us, clearing a bit of a track round just so we could peg the bush, and then getting it cleared, getting it filled, getting it built, levelled, re-levelled, modified again. It's been a long way, a long road.
We've already named the main straight after you, the Peter Muller main straight, but your contribution has been enormous, and it must be a great thrill for you to see the culmination of all your work, an Australian title right here.
It certainly is, Graham. This is let's say, the pinnacle of my interest in the sport, and I think everyone here tonight would say the same. We've been waiting for, let's say, a title night like this, a Aussie title, for so long. Disappointments over the last 2 or 3 years have made it even more intense. So tonight is absolutely superb. Yeah.
Peter, I can't say it enough. Thank you very much for the great contribution you've made to West Australian Motorcycle Speedway. You're a hero of mine and always will be, and congratulations.
Thank you, Graham, and thanks everyone who's given me a bit of a pat over the time, but more so, I'd love to say there's been at least 100 others who have put in a lot of time and a lot of work here, and I've just been one of those, so it's been a great journey, and I'm hoping the future riders that are coming up, the juniors and that, they can now start to grow and flourish. We might get another Ty Wolfenden, who knows? We might even have one in the making now. So, fingers crossed.
Where do we get another Peter Muller from?
I'm going to hand the keys over very shortly. I'd love to give them to someone, but we do need another good group of volunteers. We're definitely dragging our feet. A lot of the old fellows who have helped me, and I've enjoyed working with them, they've well past it. You know, we're all getting up towards our 80s. I think it's time to go. Yeah.
That's Army. Peter Muller, well done and congratulations. Best wishes for the future.
Thanks, Ryan. appreciate it all. Thank you.
Back to you, Grant.
Thanks very much, Graham Sinden. And yeah, congratulations, Peter Muller. And we did a couple of years ago name the main straight after Peter. And you could probably name the whole complex after him, but we named the main straight. And for those people who are on the, well, what would that be? The western side of the track. Yep. You can probably see Peter Muller main straight written along there. But great to have guys like Peter amongst us. And as we can see from that magnificent vision which has been provided all night by front row screens, the boys just in the pits making final preparations for this most important race of the year for them. It's only 4 laps. It's just over a minute in duration, Con. But this would be absolutely the race of the year they wanted to get to. Yep. And these 4 teams have managed to get there. Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays out of Victoria, Shane Hudson and Adam Constable out of New South Wales, Darren Treloar and Blake Cox out of New South Wales, and Mark Plaisted and Ben Pitt out of South Australia. As we bring them out, and we got the fire show on the back of the John Day Utes. It's absolutely fabulous. Yep. It's a wonderful thing.
A lot of great contribution. They also make the Speedway.
Oh, yes,
I was
indeed
on a board at the time when they moved to this new track, just as a point of interest with Rod Slater and Peter, and I was amazed every time I went to a meeting the amount of work they'd had done, Graham. It was just Grant. It was just mind-blowing.
They never stop, do they?
Oh,
no.
It was just unbelievable.
So riders will come up to the gate, drop the passenger off, and final little bit of track prep from them, courtesy of the bottom of their Speedway boot, as they mark out the spot. More than probably where they're going to drop the back wheel in, back tyre. And up to the gate they come. Hudson and Constable, they're there, they're ready. Hand in the air. Plaisted and Pitt. Have you got your voice working, Con?
I hope so.
Treloar and Cox. And one to come, and that will be Monson and Summerhays.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's all come down to this. It's showtime here at the Pinjar Speedway 2023 Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship Final.
It's a little bit of manoeuvring on the start line. They need to be inside their starting gate. I believe they are. Everybody ready?
Up goes the tapes and away goes the flying. Ben Plaisted really touring hard. Treloar's out in front. They jump out of turn number 4, and it's Plaisted and Pitt grab the lead. Into the top turn they go. Out of turn number 4 now. He's going to be a back-to-back winner. We'll see you in just a moment. 3 laps left to do it. The rider of Monson and Summerhays in second place. Then Treloar has gone sideways. Then Treloar jumps up into second place, bringing up the rear. Well and truly out is the blue helmeted rider of Hudson and Constable. But Plaisted and Pitt are absolutely burning up the raceway as they come down into the top turn and down the back. So here he comes, Treloar once again. Don't ride him off. They've got 2 more laps to go as the yellow flag comes out. Now it's 1 lap to go. This is going to be an absolute lungbuster. Come on now. Come in the top turn the last time. Down the back straight. A half a lap left to go. Out in front, Plaisted. Will he win the national title? Out of turn number 4. Put your hands together, ladies. Back-to-back Australian champions. Back then in second place with another great rider in Treloar and the red helmeted rider of Monson and Summerhays. But the young man, he's done it from position 4. Woo! Hooly-dooly, 3 Hail Marys and past the ammunition. Make no mistake about that. Don't tell me they weren't trying for and playing for keeps. Oh, if you want to go across Australia next year to Tamworth, you'll see a repeat. Placed at Pitt's Australian champions once again. and they're being crowned that here at Pinjar. In a few moments, you'll see Grant going on to the infield to do the presentation. But Grant, it has been a ripper working with you. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, always a pleasure, Con Migro.
Good, mate, wasn't it?
And what a fabulous call of what was a brilliant race, absolutely. And Plaisted just got out of that gate four so well, got across to the bottom, got past everybody and into the lead. A little bit of a challenge there from Darren Trelaw at one point, but just could not get close enough to make a pass. I'm going to leave you with it. I'll give you the official time, which was a 64.28. We're going to go trackside and do presentations to our winner, Mark Plaisted and Ben Pitt, to Darren Trelaw and Blake Cox, and to Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays.
So don't go home. Grant will go down. I'll bring him back in when he gets down there. But it has been a very, very exciting night. Great racing, good job in the pits. Graham, my old cohort, will be tomorrow morning recording our radio and our television shows. Don't forget, it goes on air every Wednesday at 1 o'clock at Sport FM 91.3. And this young man, well, last year they might have said he was unlucky. Well, this year he made all his own luck. Good to see young Williams from Benco there, the son of Mark. Was a solo racer of very high repute in the Claremont days, and now Grant is going on to the infield to make the presentation. Clayton Mills here, good to see you, Clayton. Unfortunately, Blake didn't make the final, but there's always next year, and young Moy has done a pretty good job all throughout the year. So Grant is now going on to the infield now, so we'll do the presentation. A very exciting night of speedway racing here, and onto the infield the riders are going to do the presentation. All you people in the bar, before you go home, stay here because we're about to crown a national champion, a back-to-back champion. Well, it's no fluke when you do it twice, and every one of those riders can take a bow because they've done such a fabulous job here in providing us with a great night of speedway racing. A great way to finish the night. And Grant now on the infield. There'll be awards to the riders and their passengers. And don't forget the Australian title next year at Tamworth in New South Wales. A pretty good place of Australia, very nice part of Australia. And you can take in a lot of sights. You can shoot up to Brisbane if you want to as well. You can go down to Sydney. You can go to Newcastle. No matter where you want to go on the East Coast, everything's pretty close. And you can have a ball. So over now to Grant Woodhams, who is about to do the presentation here tonight at Pinjar Speedway. Thanks, Grant.
Con Migro. We've got Ben Williams from Benco here with us. We've also got Russell Mitchell, former Australian champion. They're going to help with the presentations. We're just going to get the boys over here and we'll get them up on stage. 1, 2 and 3. So we'll call over Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays, third place getters. Warren and Andrew, we'll just have a little bit of a word with you. We'll get Ben and Russell organised over there. I'll just be about, I'll be about 30 seconds off mic, Con.
Righto, mate.
So if you just want to give us a little bit more info, and I'll talk to Andrew and I'll talk to Warren very shortly.
Thanks, mate. Well, what we'll do, we'll earn a few dollars from our very great sponsors. So it's over to Matty to give us a few plugs, and then we'll be back with Grant in just a few moments.
Assured Learning Australia are registered training providers offering high-quality training and education courses for the automotive industry. Established in 2016, they have grown to become market leaders in automotive air conditioning and electric vehicle safety service and maintenance courses. Focus on your future. Contact Lyle Barrett at Assured Learning Australia on 0488 038 904. 117 Dundas Road, High Wycombe, WA.
Righto, Grant. So with Grant Williams now to do the presentation.
To come up, boys. Shane and Adam. A mighty job. 14 points in qualifying and have finished fourth in the Australian title. Big round of applause for them, folks. And we'll get Russell Mitchell and Ben Williams up here to do the presentations. Ben Williams from Benco. Russell Mitchell, former Australian champion. And from Pinjar Peak Speedway, sincere thanks both to Shane and Adam, who have spent virtually their entire season here in Western Australia. And you've done us proud, boys. We'd love to see you stay here, but I'm sure you're probably going to go home at some point. Big round of applause. Shane Hudson, Adam Constable, fourth place in the Aussie title. We'll go to third place now, and Russell Mitchell ready with the presentation. This goes to Victorians, Warren Monson and Andrew Summerhays. Just getting congratulations from Ben Wins. Andrew, Warren, I'll ask you the one question. You were the top qualifiers tonight. You had the same points as Shane and Adam there. You went for gate one. Was it the right decision in the end?
Oh, look, that's a tough call. Look at the guys you're competing against, you know. They all gate really good out of the gate, but, you know, we just hit a little rut. So it is what it is, but, you know, it's always the safest option going on the inside of everybody, but they just got that little bit more in front of us.
Well, we look forward to seeing Andrew, and we look forward to seeing Warren again in future Australian Championships. Third place officially in this year's 2023 Australian title, Warren Monson, Andrew Summerhays out of Victoria. We move to second place. A man who's won the Australian title 10 times. Would have loved to make it number 11 here in Western Australia. Didn't happen on the night, but rode superbly, showed us what he's all about, and we're happy to have had him here again. Darren Treloar and Blake Cox. Accept the trophy from Russell Mitchell, former Australian champion, to one other former Australian champion, Ben Williams from Benco, who've been magnificent supporters of this event. Darren, I'll just grab a quick word with you. That was a mighty tussle you had there with Mark for that race, but you just couldn't get it lined up to make the pass.
No, I couldn't. But just for the record, I was going for me 12th, not 11th. So I'm one better anyway, because you're saying I had 10, but I really got 11, so that's a win. Yeah, there's just so many people. Obviously, all the boys in the final, like everyone was going tonight. Pinjarra Park, the track staff, everyone that put this on. It was an awesome track, and you can see how close the racing was, and I hope the crowd enjoyed it. Put on a good show for you. Just everyone behind the scenes. Radar, Ricky, Pimmy, Jake and Ellie, Mel, Ledge, there were so many people back at home. It was a big effort this year. I had a few problems at the start of the season, and I was chasing my tail all year. We got here, and we're on the podium, second. Top step would have been better, but we're here. And the people here have been awesome too. Prawnad and Bruce, gives somewhere to stay and a ute to run around. And then the Liptrop family from Road and Race. If you want your bike done, dynoed or tuned, go and see them boys. Mick and Reese, awesome family. We took over their workshop and their house, and You know, they just give us everything. It just shows you what the hospitality's like in Speedway sidecars. He was a competitor against me, and he still did what he did. Cheers, boys. And obviously Blake on the back. He's amazing. It's just good riding with him. He keeps me keen, and we work well together. And a big shout out to Jake and Eli Orson, number 6. Yo!
Oh, well said, Darren. Going for number 12 at Tamworth, I guess. Yes. Okay. And then there was one, or in fact there's two. Mark Playstead, Ben Pitt, Australian champions for 2023. Presentations via Steve McQueen, Russell Mitchell, Ben Williams. Congratulations, boys. Get you up here, Mark. We had a brief conversation last night. Congratulations from all the boys. We just want to talk to them for a second or two. Mark, we had a chance last night to talk about you looking at last night's racing. You're looking at the qualifying, but you were particularly looking at the track tonight, a very different track. It really suited you.
Oh, mate, the track staff done an amazing job. Well done to the club. Everyone here at Pinjar's been a really good 3 weeks we've been over here, and I just want to thank everyone in my team. Will and Ange for putting us up. You guys are unreal. Teely getting our bikes and car over here and getting everything sorted. But this is for Bass from Black Chrome. Love you, mate.
A question I want to put to you. You came through the B, you won the B, you were left with gate 4. How tough from out there? What were you thinking about gate 4?
Mate, I knew it was going to be hard. These boys are charging, and I had a plan and we executed it. And I just want to thank Matty, Stouty, Rob, all my team. Thank you.
We want to thank you sincerely, Mark Playstead, for coming over here and defending a title. 3 times winner of the Australian Sidecar Championship, Mark Playstead and Ben Pitt.
Big thanks to Pitty on the back, mate. You're a legend. Well done.
Benny, all over to you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say the same as Wolves. Top ride, bloody champion, 3 in a row. Can't believe it. Started the night, I didn't think we were going to even make the B, but no, Mark rode like a champion and got us there in the end. Well done, bro. Big thanks to RCA Civil as well for doing an awesome track. Stinger Race James, Pitty's Floor Sand and Polishing, G1 Logistics, and Black Chrome on your Bass.
Yeah, thanks to all my sponsors. I got a bit emotional there. Stinger Race Frames, Chooks Custom Graphics, Black Chrome, TRE, Thor, Spy, Pitty's Floor Sanding and Polishing, and everyone that gets behind us, all the guys up here, the whole crowd. Hope you had a good night. And thank you. Cheers. Lou and Rob, all the way out from England. Yeah!
And a big shout out to my fiancée. She'll be watching at home with the kids. Hope you're still awake to see this one. Love you.
Well, one more thing to do, and that's to present you with the Duke of Edinburgh trophy as well. I'm told you've got to hold it at the bottom, because if you hold it at the top, it'll fall apart, so don't let that happen. But Mark Playstead, Ben Pitt, once again, congratulations, our Australian champions. Great to have had them here in the West. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our broadcast here tonight. Thank you very much to everybody involved. Thank you particularly to Ben Williams and Benco. Thank you to the good folks of Pinjar Park Speedway who brought this to us. Look forward to your company once again when we resume racing here next October. Good night.